Line them up. Young Roll, Young
Came in
Roll.
clean with the grin too wide. Now they point when I cross that side. I read
Dramatic,
the room, then
dramatic.
I read the lie. They clap for blood when the truth gets slide. Screens on glow when the rumors fly. One bad
This
post and
song's
they pick
definitely
a
growing
side.
on me.
I took the heat, then I took the crown. Made my scars into a whole damn sound. Say my name, what's the crowd leaning? Turn the mess into a way back when they wanna fall. I give a face. All that shame in a gold stamp frame. Welcome to Love Car Hero. Laugh first, then they cheer up. Welcome to Love Car Hero.
Shout out to Twisted, SMF, and Christina.
Still stand tall when they deal low. Welcome to Love Car Hero. I turn the stain to a halo. Left my pride on the common floor. Had to build new skin from what they tore. Every joke like a blade in the dark. Still
Shout out
I
to
walk through with a
Pakistan
live
Patty.
wire hard. They want a glitch, I gave them style. Turn that flop to the pressure pile. They bite that phrase, every tongue on repeat. My name hits hard when the cycle meets. Say my name, what's the crowd leaning? Turn the mess into a way back when they wanna fall. I give a face. All that shame in a gold stamp frame. Welcome to Love Car Hero. Laugh first and they cheer up. Welcome to Love Car Hero. I wear the bruise like zero. Welcome to Love Car Hero.
Shout out to Chelsea and Daddy Liam Porter.
Welcome to Love Car Hero. I turn the stain to a halo. If you came to see me break, better bring more than a stone to take. I learned how the fire speaks. Now the whole damn circus follows me. Welcome to Love Car Hero. Laugh first and they cheer up. Welcome to Love Car Hero.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I wear the bruise like zero. Welcome to Love Car Hero.
welcome to Local Hero with your boy, Sir Joseph Pesci. Yeah, to answer the guy in the chat, I currently have 2 shows. I could see myself interviewing, or excuse me, getting this channel monetized, and then who knows where I'll do from there. But ladies and gentlemen, let me bring on my guest here. We have the Killa Kilala. I called you Killa Kilala tonight. Kilala,
I like it.
welcome to Hero. Now, before we get into everything great, let a couple people come in here. I want to tell people what led to interesting story about you. So, the day I decided to come back to the LCU, stop me if I told you this story, but I think everybody else should hear it. It's a very interesting. I told myself something was telling me to come back or whatever. You know what I mean? And I always am a guy that believes in like signs. Like you'll
Mhm.
see a sign or something like very close to like, all right, you have to, that's a sign for you to go back. And it was actually on a show you were on. And I didn't know who you
Really?
were. You were like a complete stranger. And
Uh-huh.
I said something like I donated or something. And then she's like, you're like, oh, I know Jim Crick or whatever. Or that's, Jim Crick, or you said something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I should go back. You know what I mean? Because usually, what did I tell you before the show? I go, when people usually acknowledge Jim Crick, that means more to me than them acknowledging Joe Pesci. I don't know how to I don't know how to explain why,
I do.
but
I remember that. You know what I said? I was like, "Hi, Pesci. I'm friends with Jim Crick." That's
yeah,
what I said. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
And I told myself that day, I go, you know what, if you're, and I always do this sometimes, like, and there's sometimes where what I say does not happen. Let me get this off twisted, but I'll say, all right, if you're meant to do this, you'll see the sign today.
Yeah.
And the sign that day was when, you were a stranger. Like I said, I was acknowledging somebody that was on the panel, and then you acknowledged Jim Crick, and I was like, huh. I go, man, everybody loves Jim Crick. I go, maybe it's time to bring you back, Jim. And then, before we know it, here we are. And I thought what was interesting was sometimes you know how to talk about stuff a little bit outside of the box. And that kind of
Mhm.
came across kind of interesting. Like how you said you and Tater are like, what'd you say you guys like talking about?
Uh, Weird girl shit, I think is what I said. We we like talking weird histories. She's really good with like conspiracies, aliens, thinking outside of like our dimension, but then also, like we talk about boobs too. So there's there's a wide variety of different things that we're into. But I did want to say something about when you said you heard me say that, because I was in all the chats when you were gone, and I got to tell you, every single chat there was a cigarette smoking
Yeah.
cricket. Every single one,
Yeah,
across the
that was
universe.
definitely one of my draws. Like I always said,
Yeah,
I was never drawn back to this place for no cash reasons or like money reasons. I was always drawn back. I was, like I told you, I wanted to be an actor. And
yeah,
I think I'm more addicted to the fame side of things because how I look at it is I know I could get along with people. So I always say it's like, look, just let me in the door. And I promise
yeah.
you won't kick me out of the door. That's why I always say I snuck in through the back door of the LCU, and then now I'm here forever or whatever. But I think that was part of the reason was it was definitely the fans. I hate to say something like that, like addicted to fame or whatever, but I think it's just I'm a networking guy. Like I sold weed for decades and sold cars for decades, and a lot of my
Hmm.
life was built off meeting more and more people. So the more people I knew, the more successful I was able to be, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's a skill too. What we talk about acting is a skill. And I did like a little theater growing up, more like on the management side, but
Yeah.
there is definitely charisma there when it comes to acting. But how you said networking, that works so well here. Like the people that I feel like are really successful within the LCU, know what's going on, know the people, know the other hosts, are willing to help out, have other people jump onto their show, which I know a lot of people jump onto Hero, because you want to hang out and network and be with
Someone said my volume's
your
lower. Hold on
coworkers.
one second.
Oh, okay,
No, you're good. You could talk. I just was volume.
okay. Were you any better, chat?
I sound fine on me and yours end, right?
Yeah, you sound great on my end. So
Sound check, sound check. Looks good on my end. Sound check, looks good down there. Sound
okay.
check, sound check.
Let us know if that got any better. But yeah, did you ever do any acting?
Um, no, I never got a chance to. I always wanted to. I would say the closest thing I got to was I was at the Ohio Center of Broadcasting. It doesn't even exist anymore. They call it somewhere different. It's just a place that keeps getting renamed.
I
But
do want to interrupt you real quick just because they did let us know you are still low. And I
he
want
is
them to be
still
able to
low.
hear, yeah, I want them to be able to hear you because I didn't know that you did broadcasting. It makes absolute 100% sense that you did broadcasting. But I didn't know.
Um, how is that even possible? I'm loud everywhere.
Hmm. Should we see? Do you want me to try and message and see if someone can come up to help? I know
No, 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 no,
Phantom.
no, no, no,
Okay.
no. It's not like that. This people have to be able. Oh, someone said, yeah. I think it has to be maybe just on her. I turned it up. I heard him.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah. If you can hear me fine, then
I
they
heard
should be
him
able
turn it
to
up.
as well.
Okay. They're just suggesting you turn up the volume. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, chat. We appreciate it. I don't want to hear about this broadcasting school.
Okay, so you go to broadcasting school. I'll tell you an interesting story. It's actually a sad story. It's one I regret, but I'll tell it. Um,
Okay.
hold on. OBS happened to me earlier. OBS picky bitch. LOL. Twisted SMF. Yeah, I think I got it. I think we're good now.
All right.
Let me reset my
Thank you,
thing. Hold
Twisted.
on one second.
Okay.
Okay, you could hear me, right?
Yep.
All right, so he said sounds good to him. Okay, perfect. All right, so listen.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so here's the saddest fuck up of my life. I'll even tell it to you. The biggest
Okay.
fuck up of my life ever was so My stepdad, who I lived with, I threw a giant party at his house or whatever once. It was like a 3-day party, and it ended up fucking up a lot of shit for me. That's when I moved out and started selling drugs originally. But
How
my
old were you?
stepdad, I was 18, 16.
Okay.
I still
So,
graduated high school and all that, but I was a big time, I was a big time drug dealer. So what ended up happening was my stepdad came out and like found me, right? He was like, came out on the streets or came to a bar. I wasn't like on the streets like a panhandler. I'm saying I was on the,
yeah, yeah.
I was hustling. I had a car and all that. And, he came and found me and he goes, look, I'll pay for you to go to broadcasting school. He goes, I know if you go to broadcasting school, you'll do well. And here was the reality. I crushed it there. Like, I went there and they have you all tell a story in front of all the teachers. And
Uh-huh.
they point out the initial people day one who they think would be something. And they picked me out of all things and said my story I told was the most craziest story they ever told. Because what was funny was I told a story that they didn't ask me to tell, but it was so funny that I was telling a story and I thought that they told me to tell, and they got a really big kick out of it. So early on there, I was projected to really do well. Like every time they would do a tryout, like how the school would work is you'll do a tryout for something. And I was always getting the on air, the weather guy, all that stuff, the news guy, the sports guy, all that. And this before podcasting was huge. Did podcasting exist? Yeah, but it wasn't as
It wasn't
widespread
like
it
it
is
is
now.
now.
This is before 2010. You know what I mean? This is maybe,
Okay.
let's see, if I graduated in '01, and what's crazy was I was in 12th grade 3 times because I kept getting expelled for marijuana. And
Oh, yeah.
so long story short, on the broadcasting school, I was doing so well. And don't ask me why I did this. This is just retarded. But I was selling weed at that time, amongst other things I was selling. But weed was the big one. And I was making a shitload of money. I'm saying when you talk about a shitload of money, the thought of actually ever working a real job other than a broadcasting job was just, I would have never even thought of it. Like the only real job I ever had was selling used cars, and those cars we own. We're our own boss. It's not like I was hired. We started that
Oh, so
business ourselves. You know what I mean? I've always worked for myself. I haven't had a job since I was 21. And that was because I was going to broadcasting school and my stepdad said if he
yeah.
was going to pay for it, I had to have a job. Now,
I'm
here's
not
where I
surprised.
fall.
I'm not surprised that you work for yourself because you seem to have that kind of attitude and self motivation. And I can't imagine you getting pushed around by someone else too long. I don't
Yeah.
think that would be your, yeah, forte.
Yeah. So what's crazy is I thought I was like getting ready to do the job placing. We were getting ready to graduate. I kind of fucked up with. See, I don't know. This was so unlike of me. I was burning a few bridges. Like there was people that were within that school, and I was
Mhm.
kind of acting that I was better than at times because I was getting such a big ego because of everybody hyping me up. I was number one as on air, you know, for an on air guy. I was
Talent.
number one. I
Yeah.
didn't know shit about computers then. So here's where I fucked up. I should have been learning a lot of the back game. They were offering to put me as an intern, not like an intern how this place is, an intern where you would be doing chords and shit like that and helping the guy. You weren't going to be on air or anything, or you would get like a chance. I just never showed up to these intern places. Instead, I was going to gambling. I was
Oh.
selling weed. I was making so much money, I didn't care. So the day I graduated, a lot of these bridges and people that you should have been building bridges with, and they'll bring you to like a radio station. I didn't build the right bridges. I actually, in fact, burned a couple on accident because of the way I acted. Maybe they could have been repaired. It wasn't like I did anything I couldn't come back from. It's just there was a lot of people that wouldn't be better than me at something. And instead of just being humble and acting like they were and listening to their advice, I would really let them have it. You know
Oh,
what I mean? And
yeah, you would.
yeah.
Is it,
So
so was it, were you able, did you get to the point where they were teaching you how to do it? And that's when you would let them have it? Or,
well, it would be like that, or it wouldn't be like let them have it. It would be like, yeah, they would be on air. We'd be on air, and they would be kind of giving me a command or something, and I'd be like, don't worry.
okay.
I got to keep in mind I was 21. Okay, this is
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
21
Age
years
has
ago.
a lot to do with it.
The
Age has a
guy I
lot to
was
do
when
with
I was
it.
21 was a fucking he was a fucker. I don't even know if I
Hey,
liked that guy. He had a lot of fun. I'll be honest. I think about when I was
yeah,
21, how much fun I was having.
I would say the same thing. The woman I am at 40 is not the same woman that I was at 21 in any way, shape, or form.
So
So
what
I
happened?
get that.
So what happened was I didn't ever go to the internship, and before you know it, I was so deep in the drug game. I'm going to prison a couple years later. So after prison came, there was no chance that I could probably go to a radio station and say, "Hi, I'm a convict," and they would just make me a radio guy. And all the people that could have maybe vouched for me, I don't know where they are to this day. Like I said, that school doesn't even exist anymore. It has a different name. And a lot of those people
Yeah.
that were teachers there, they get jobs at they're real radio people working there. So they get jobs or they get promotions and they just end up not being a teacher. They bring in a round of teachers all people that are within the radio business. It's an expensive school.
Oh,
Now,
that's the way you want to learn though, with by people who are actually hands-on doing it, as opposed to people who just went through a school and then automatically become a teacher. So that's cool that you actually got hands-on knowledge from people who knew what it was like to actually be on the radio.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I fucked up because that's the biggest fuck up in my life, not going to do the interning shit and just being the guy I was and doing both, not micromanaging and saying, look, do both. Yeah, you're making a lot of money. Yeah, if you go to the intern thing, it's for free. You're not going to be able to be a fuck around up there and selling drugs or weed. Just go do it. You know what I mean? And I did it. Before you know it, it's like, dude, it was like a movie. It was like, 1 minute you're in this school and you're like this guy or whatever that looks like he's on the trajectory to do well, but his outside life is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, as far as people I was meeting or people I was selling weed to or whatever I was doing. And shit was always happening. And on top of that, you're talking to different chicks, and that was a distraction as well. And it just kept going and going until eventually you end up in jail. And then I had to go twice. I didn't go to prison once. I went to prison twice for marijuana, both dealing, both female,
Yeah.
females telling on me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
One of the
crazy to
reasons
think
I
about
stay
now.
single. What?
Yeah. I said that's crazy because you think about now marijuana, like I don't know if
It's
some of these
legal.
younger people realize how intense the sentences were, how much that like really hung over people's heads. Now it would be like no big deal if you found out your boss or anyone you worked with smoked marijuana. It's legal, it's not a problem. But they really like hammered down on it for a long
Yeah.
time, for years and years and years.
It's legal now. What would always happen with me was I would get busted and then it would be something that happened on probation. Like one time in lieu of prison, I was sent to an establishment where it was like a drug rehab. They just sent people there instead of prison. It wasn't even that I needed rehab. Like I said, I was just
Like a
mainly
halfway house
a
kind of.
smoker. Yeah, it was like a halfway house. And I ended up getting kicked out of there for gambling. And they sent me to prison. But what was funny was I remember when the judge asked me, do you want to go home, but you're going to be on felony probation? Let me tell you what felony probation is. They make you
Yeah.
live in the same county, and your probation officer could just show up at your house, okay, knocking on the door.
Mm.
And I knew when I was leaving jail, I wasn't about to get no real job because I didn't know where to get a real job. At this point, I got a criminal background, so I'm gonna have to jump back in the weed game. First people I'm calling when I
Yeah.
get out of jail is the weed dealer. Yo, I'm out. Can you help me out? You know what I mean? To get me back on my feet, because I knew those were the guys that would. Because once you're like back then, if you had a criminal record and you were a felon, not only certain people were gonna hire felons, and usually those are people that know the
Yeah.
felon. How do you think I
Yeah.
got in a car game? I knew those two guys that got me in the car game. They knew me my whole life. So they knew I was not like a fucked up dude. I sold weed or whatever, but he could be trusted. Let him. And I've been selling cars for, what is it, 2026? 14 years? Yeah,
Yeah.
14 years now. But
Um,
that's always been a side hustle. Like we sometimes run out of inventory.
what happened? when you were younger and you started selling weed and it slowly like increased, you slowly started
Yeah.
doing more and more. Was it just like there was so much money that there wasn't even a question of doing anything else?
Dude,
Because for
I was making so much money. Like for instance, this house that I'm living in now, I bought from money that I was selling weed from years ago. Did I
yeah.
lose tons? Yeah, from like me getting locked up, robbed at times. Like I said, I got screwed over by many chicks before. Crazy, crazy stories there. Um, yeah,
Well,
it's a
when you were
yeah.
talking
Go on.
about signs earlier, when you were talking
Yeah,
about signs earlier, I also believe that there's like exchanges we make, right? And like sacrifices in order to get something else. There's like almost to get your house and get the life that you have now throughout the way. Maybe there were things that like happened that you had to give up, sacrifice, go through prison in order to get to, like the man you are today. It's like you can, and maybe this isn't even true, but it always feels like in order to get something good, it's like you also have to give away something that was like a blessing in your life.
yeah.
What do you hold on to? What do you balance? I don't know.
Well, what's crazy about the whole signs thing is you're somebody that, like, I'll tell you another sign. I say it's a sign, it's a sign. It's a
Yeah, I
sign.
like it.
It's a sign that you actually understand the sign shit. I know that sounds weird,
Yeah.
but it's a sign that you
No,
understand that because
it was
I'm
me,
like,
you, and
man,
Iceman, and we all were like, you, me, Iceman. You were talking about it, and we all were like, yeah, this absolutely makes sense. Like,
yeah. And
keep going,
the day
Pesci. We get
that
you.
the day that I knew you knew who Jim Crick was, and I kind of decided I was coming back, I had a vision that I would cross paths with you. I go, for some reason, I see me on a show with her, or I just have a feeling I'm going to cross paths with this person again. And that's what I
Yeah.
thought. And I don't tell people about all this stuff. Sometimes I'll tell them when they meet you. Some people look at me like I'm nuts, but usually I'll say it out loud. Like, I think I
Yeah.
said on the first day I did Hero that we'll see you here eventually. And here you are. And
Yeah.
I just thought, look, come here, do Hero, just kind of do the interviews until it's monetized. Do I know what to do beyond that? No. But that's why I wanted you as a co host because I feel like you're just smart. I'm like, if I could just get teamed up with a smart girl sometimes, I'm a lot smarter when like, for instance, we got a smart docket team on Cafe, but they make me a lot smarter with the shit that they feed us. You know what I mean? Like,
Your
I'm like,
docket
oh,
team is
okay.
your team is crazy on Cafe. You have like the
Yeah.
best docket team. That's awesome. I'd like to ask a lot of questions. Like I'm interested in people. I'm interested in lives. I've lived a weird life. Other people live interesting lives. I'm like, I want to know because I don't connect with people who just small talk and can't I'm not good at that. I've always sucked at that. At parties when people try to small talk, I suck and I'm like, instead, let's talk about like the darkest moment of your life and let's talk about how it made like turned you into the person you are today and I'll tell you mine too and let's go back and forth and I've always been like that my
You know,
whole
it's
life.
crazy. The darkest moment of my life. Um, it's funny. I'll tell you the darkest moment of my life.
Really? Okay.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Somehow I'm able to get. Why aren't they able to call me?
Oh, it might be because you're not on Do Not Disturb on your Discord setting, if they're calling you
If I,
through Discord.
yeah, so turn it on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, your status
Yeah, because I
on
just
Do
got
Not
trolled.
Disturb. Yeah,
Or
that
not
should.
forever. Or 15 minutes. Boom. That'll stop the calls. Sorry about that, folks. I was
I
getting
believe so. Yeah.
trolled just now. Probably the old people that used to
Yeah.
be on this channel, like Dick Gemini or somebody along those lines. Who knows? Um, Sorry
People
about
will do
that,
whatever
folks.
they can to get
What
attention.
what
Yeah.
were we just talking about?
Talking about you were going to tell me your deepest, darkest secret, and then you
Okay,
pretended to get a
okay.
phone call, so you didn't have to tell me.
No. You
I know,
couldn't see it. It
I'm
was
joking. No, I saw it
no,
on
no,
the
no,
other
no, no,
screen.
no.
I
Oh,
did.
okay. No. The deep. It's not even a secret. So we
Oh,
were,
darkest
like I
moment.
said, I was a drug dealer. We were hanging out with these chicks once,
Hmm.
and they were younger. They weren't like young, but they were younger than us. I mean, I was young. I was only like 25. So they were like probably
Hmm.
like what, 20, 21 or something. But they were just
Hmm.
starting to drink or whatever. And we were smoking weed with these chicks. And I remember the guy that I was with, he put fucking shit in the weed or whatever. And I go, bro, that's kind of fucked up. I go, at least, I mean, he did let him know, thank God. But
Hmm.
I go, hey man, you gotta let those chicks know about that. They don't even smoke. Basically, he put something in the weed to enhance it. We'll say.
Like, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
okay, we'll just say that's what he did. He put something in the weed to enhance it. But if you don't tell somebody that doesn't know, they're gonna be high as fuck and wonder why they're high as fuck. So
yeah.
I'm like arguing with this guy, like, hey man, you got to tell these chicks that you did that or whatever. And I remember he looked at me and he goes, I'm not gonna say what he said because it was my real name, but he said my name and he goes, I never said we were good guys. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now
And
this
then
guy
suddenly you
turned
realized who you were with.
me and this guy ended up parting ways over some like very giant shit, and it was always over
Yeah.
women. What's funny is me and him could do business and make thousands of dollars and be the happiest guy in the world. But whenever there was girls involved, this guy just became like a weirdo. Now, did he get a lot of chicks? Yes, that's what was crazy. He would get some of the hottest chicks you ever
Yeah.
even seen. You know what I mean? And we would always tank. He had like a, back then it was like the bros before hosting, but he would take the bros before
Yeah.
hosting a little bit more serious. Like I used to staple to that as well, but I didn't do it the way he did it. He would do
How
it to
did he
where
do it?
he was just very. I remember a chick that he was with. I was with a
Hmm.
chick in my room, right? And his chick ran down, knocking on my door, saying my name, right? I'm not going to say my name, but she was saying my name. She goes, can I come in there and sleep with you? And I go, I got my girl with me. And then she goes, my girl goes, you been fucking hurt? I go, no. But the girl came in and she goes, yeah, uh, I'll just say B was acting weird. I'm nervous to be around him. He wasn't like a creep, like he would do any like go to that point where he should be arrested, but he would get these
Yeah.
girls scared as fuck sometimes, the way he would scream, and you wouldn't know. And if you knew him, eventually you'd realize he was more just all talk than like he never like hit
Hmm.
anybody. But this girl would be scared of shit and they would run down there. But I would say that was my darkest time, was living with this guy, because like I
Hanging
said, when
out with that guy.
you're in the drug game, you're going to be around a lot of women. That's just reality. And yeah, smoking with them or whatever. And he was just some guy that was always trying to get chicks more fucked up than ever. We'll just say.
I had I had like a similar situation where I was living. So I left the Mormon church, and then I was told I couldn't live with my parents anymore. So I just like found the first place that I could,
What
which
up,
was a house
Thrift?
full of like
I'm
all
listening.
these people that were doing a lot of like a lot of drugs and a lot of different things. And I was just this, I didn't do any of it, but I was there because I needed a place to stay. But one time, our roommate got like really, really, really fucked up, and he sounds kind of like the guy you knew, where charisma got a lot of chicks. He had this girl that was living with us,
Like, he would never
and
go over the line. But dude, he would
yeah,
say some fucked up things to these girls. And he would scare the shit out of them at times. And it wasn't until like after it was always after they were a thing. He was never like that to a stranger of a woman. It was always after
hmm.
he got with them. That's when shit would start to get weird.
Well, yeah, because that's how they get them. Is you get them by being sweet and being the nice guy and being cool. And then once you're in love and you're hooked in, then all of a sudden they show you who they really are. And
And I'm
I think
24 at this time. Keep in mind, I'm not like a grown up. You know what I mean? I'm still
yeah,
young.
yeah.
When I was 24, I was still very immature. I think I
I
didn't
think
really.
your frontal cortex isn't like fully developed until you're 26. So as far as I'm concerned, wasn't. I'm still an idiot, but I was definitely like more of an idiot. I didn't have I didn't have emotional intelligence to be like, hey, this guy is
What up,
doing
BC?
crazy things.
He
So
says you
like,
need a chair like Kalila's. Yeah, Well, I
Oh,
kind of like
we'll get
these.
you some bows.
Well, the problem with that chair is I kind of like the back on these. I do probably got a this chair is almost 4 years old. This chair's got a lot of like years on it. This is like one of the first chairs I ever streamed on.
It looks nice though. You know that it looks
It's
kind of
kind of worn
gangster
out
with
now.
the white and the black. It looks nice on camera. This is actually a couch because I've been away from my dogs for 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
so they need to be right next to me right now, like all day. They do not want me to go anywhere. They like,
The the
they just,
reasoning the reasoning behind my green walls is this wall back here. Sometimes when I would make videos, I would stand up in front of that, and it kind of helped the whole green screen. Because some people are
that's
like,
what
"Why'd
I
you paint your
thought.
shit green?" And I'm like, "It's the green screen green. This is like my living room
Yeah.
that I turned into my computer room. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. Normally, when I would stream, you wouldn't even see the background. I'd always have a green screen or have fish swimming or some shit behind me.
Yeah. I think Phantom has a green screen behind him too. I think it's cool. I think it's cool to be able to like move things around and shake it and
Let me
uh,
let me top this drink off. Talk to the chat
okay.
for 1 second. I'm gonna top this drink off.
All right. Hey chat, how we doing? You know what? I think Pesci would be able to rock a rattan couch like this. Who knows? Yeah. Hello, Cash Money. Pesci needs a chair to throw. Yeah, it's funny how you can talk to someone who we've had like such different lives, but I can really relate to what he was saying about like being around someone who is kind of a dark person and not realizing the full impact it has on you until after the fact. So I was just saying, like, it's interesting. We've had such different lives, but I can really relate to being around someone who's kind of a dark person, but you're young and you don't realize it at the time. Oh, but I was gonna tell you, the guy who was my roommate got really fucked up one night,
Okay.
and he started there was glass everywhere. I was young. It was the first time like living anywhere other than college. And he was so drunk, he was walking around the house screaming at his girlfriend. And his girlfriend and I were inside, and he never hit her, he never did anything. But when he was outside, he started hitting himself, saying that she was hitting him because they were threatening to call the police. So he
What
would
up,
like
Slytherin?
hit himself and say, "Hey," he would hit himself and say like, uh, "Stephanie, stop hitting me," so that if anyone called or anything happened, and immediately I was like, "Oh, I'm moving out. I need to leave. I need to
Let
leave."
me let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna tell you a problem I always think I have. Um, do you think it's possible for a guy to love like 20 women?
Yes. But I like polyamory, like be in relationships with 20 women or
No, just like have love for like 20 women.
uh I think it depends over the course of a lifetime. Currently, it depends on what kind. I think there's like 1,000 different kinds of love.
The reason why I say
So
that, I shouldn't have said 20, but here's why I
I was like,
asked
20
that.
is a high number. 20 is a high number.
Here was a problem I had when I was talking to chicks and everything is if I get into a situation where I'm with another chick, I would have trouble turning them down. And one of the main reasons why I stopped getting in relationships cuz I said it's not fair for me to say that I love you because I think I love like multiple chicks. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's
Yes.
like, oh, I love this chick, but yeah, I love her too. And it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? And I don't mean like love like you go kill for them love. It's more like, yeah, you like this girl, but yeah, if you had the chance to get with her, you would kind of make that move. I don't know what that's
I think,
called.
yeah, because it's not really, is it polyam? Are you in like a girlfriend relationship? I do think it's possible. And I think if you know that about yourself and you're honest about it, like going into I don't even know, relationship or dating,
Yeah.
that's going to make life a whole lot easier. Because The problem is when people aren't upfront about that and want to cheat. A lot of people could be in situations where, like I was in a situation where someone was cheating on me, and at the time I was open to like a polyamory relationship, or maybe like
Sure.
dating someone else, or even both of us like dating someone else, or dating like a girl together wasn't something like out of the bounds at the time. I was under 26, but wasn't out of the bounds of what I was be willing to do.
Someone says I have
But
love for 21 men. So sure. Yeah. Well,
so they can relate.
I'm trying, I shouldn't have said 20. I'm just
But it's
saying
a
like
little
this.
funny then.
What I meant by that was I always wondered what that is, because people will be like, why did you stay single? And I'm like, I'm usually very too honest. Like, there
Yes,
comes
me
a
too.
time in a relationship where I'm more worried about kind of like what I got going on. And usually a girl, like, I always say the best relationship you could have is the one you don't start. Like,
Oh, because you have that ennui of like what could have happened.
well, not just that, but look, no, when I say the relationship you don't start, meaning if you get with a girl on a one night stand, let's not the next day, if we don't have to, do the how you feeling, how you been, or blah blah blah. Are we boyfriend girlfriend? Are we gonna link up again? If you just let her go do her thing and you go do your thing, I think you could always like come back and see each other again. To where if you get into a relationship and something goes south, there could be a situation where that because of the relationship you got into with her, you never get to see her again because it got that bad or it got that toxic. So sometimes the relationship you don't start ends up being the
Mm.
more stronger one.
So I have a question for you. So
Yeah.
is a relationship and sex something you can separate? Are they the same thing or are they separate? Can you just have sex with someone and not have a relationship with them, or are they connected?
Am I capable of doing that?
I guess it's more like
I'm
is
very
what's your
capable of just
view?
having sex with someone and saying, yeah, because here's the problem. I've been with chicks that were married before.
Hmm. How was
Um,
that? I want to hear about that.
it was actually scary. Okay, I'll tell you a couple of good ones.
Yeah, it
All
sounds
right.
that would be scary.
I told you I was a weed dealer. So
Yeah.
meeting women, I always say weed was like my guardian angel. It got me into, every party that you probably shouldn't have been at. Or, sometimes like you probably wouldn't have been at that party if you weren't the drug dealer or this guy or that, or, maybe you would have been there or you wouldn't have been as popular or whatever. But
Especially back then, like anyone who's younger, remember this is back when weed was not easily accessible by any means. Like you had to know someone, you had to have a connection.
yes, it was not accessible. There was no stores.
Yeah, it was
And
not, everyone's not walking around with pens like they are today. It's very different.
yeah. And oh my God, I just drew a blank. I'm answering the what now?
So if you can separate sex from, oh no, no, having a relationship that was kind of scary with a married woman.
Oh yeah, with the married
So
woman.
it,
Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
weed
I
was
was
your
explaining.
guardian
Yeah, I almost
angel.
got thrown off. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I thought. Okay, so I would meet a lot of chicks through a buddy would call me and say, "Hey, this girl needs green or whatever," and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of chicks I did get with through selling weed to them first or whatever. It wasn't like a big deal, but there was a lot of married chicks. And I met this one married chick, and you end up meeting these married chicks where you learn their fucking marriages are fucked, right? So
Yeah.
here's the part though. I would get with a married chick, and I remember the problem is some of them would get so drunk that when they would be with me, all of a sudden they would start messaging their husband or talking to their husband. And you would be like, oh shit, her husband could legitimately try to come look for her because she's intoxicated and he has every right to fucking kill me. I remember
Yeah.
a chick
Yeah.
I got with, and this was actually a time I was an adult. You remember the time I was an adult? So my cousin was in a nursing school. She's much younger, but the nursing school has variety of ages. And one of the
Yeah.
nurses was a lady with kids or whatever and a husband and all this. And I didn't know that. She was getting with me there. I remember my cousin was kind of mad. And I remember she goes, let's go somewhere. And I go, you know what? You're a little bit too wasted. I go, how about I'll get you to your house? And I started to realize she was so intoxicated. I go, what if she said like her husband's cool with a guy pulling up? I go, I could just pull up in the driveway. Like I was just going to drop her off in the driveway and leave. I wasn't even going to try to
Yeah.
get with her because she got too wasted. And I remember my cousin shine light. And then, my cousin's my cousin. It's my mom's sister's kid. So I wasn't trying to be the fucking asshole. She invites me to a big party. So I'm
Yeah.
taking this girl home and I'm realize, what if I pull up and the husband just wants to come kill me almost? So let me tell you what I had to do for this woman. We pulled over at the gas station. I remember we were like kissing or whatever, but I go, look, I have to call an Uber for you. She goes, no, what do you, Uber? I go, I have to. I'm not pulling up to your driveway at this hour. It's fucking after 2. And I wasn't even that hammered. And the guy would have never
Yeah.
knew that. She was hammered. I wasn't, because here's the thing. I don't get drunk, wasted, and drive on my dealer tag. Normally, I was,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
that time, I was on a dealer tag. I got a car on a normal plate now, but I was on a dealer tag, and I was usually in a car that I was selling. So I never got hammered like that. I would smoke
Yeah.
weed, but I remember being scared as fuck, pulling over at the gas station, getting the Uber, and I got her like literally 5 minutes from her house. I got her to a gas station by her house, and I didn't want to just leave her outside. I mean, this woman
Yeah.
was beautiful. And I remember I hated that I had to be the gentleman here. I was like, I really don't want to, because she didn't
I was
want to
gonna
go
say
home.
that was a hard choice for you.
And then what was funny was the next day she defriended me and all that. I'm like, huh? I'm
You
the
made the wrong
gentleman, and I
choice, I
was.
guess.
But I guess she realized she was with her husband and everything, and had to get rid of any
Yeah.
kind of proof of me. Because I remember my dumb ass, of course, is going to message her and be like, hey, do you remember yesterday? Because I thought if her marriage is trash, I mean, maybe I'll holler at her down the road.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
getting with a married woman is always scary because you don't know where the husband is going to. Because usually the married women I were getting with, they weren't like these young chicks that were like just freshly married. They were usually like these girls that had like a marriage for some years, maybe a kid
Yeah.
or 2. Now, the one girl didn't have any kids. I got out of prison, and I remember I looked her up, and she's like, yeah, me and my husband made up and had 4 kids. I'm like, damn, your marriage went from being over to having 4 kids?
I guess kids can change things sometimes. Isn't that what people always say? I guess it worked
I
for
guess
her.
so. And she had 4 of them.
4 kids.
She would let me drive her
Crazy.
husband's car and all that. And I remember I'm like, yeah, I got to be careful.
Pesci.
Well, he paid for the car. It was her car in theory, but you know who was paying the bill. It was a BMW.
Yeah.
Real nice.
So
was-
so was it like a
I'll tell
relationship?
you know
then?
what?
It wasn't just
I
hooking
wonder
up?
if she's still on my Instagram. I'll show you a picture of her. I don't even.
Okay,
I
just
can't
don't
even
show the
remember her
audience.
name though. Like I have the pic. It's crazy as you see what these women look like before they had 4 kids and after, and you're like, Jesus. I remember I looked at her. I'm like, damn, you look a lot different. And then I found out she had 4 kids. And I was like, oh, you had 4 kids while I was in prison? Because I remember I got out and she actually did hit me up. She goes, I remember when you were getting out of prison. I'm like, I'm surprised you're hitting me up. And I thought she was hitting me up because she wanted to start hanging out. But
Yeah,
I found
that's
out
what I
she
would
had
think
4
too.
kids. But when I found out she had 4 kids, I was out. I mean, I was just out of
It was-
prison. I'm not trying to be dad. All right. No, you got to take care of that
Yeah.
yourself. And she was a
That's-
really weird woman.
How?
I think it was because of pills.
Fun weird?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I think she would take
There's-
a pill and she would just get a little bit too frisky.
There's some people
You know
that
what I
they get well, if tequila, I don't really drink a lot, but tequila for me definitely turns me into someone who's a little more promiscuous than I would normally be. So
Yeah.
I try to avoid it.
No,
But,
I
yeah.
actually, what's so funny about the whole fat cap thing is I don't even drink beer. And I got into a
Yeah.
fucking beer. I don't. What's funny is that
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
first time in like 4 or 5 years I drank a beer, and I only drank 1 beer. And that 1 beer got me in all that trouble with Wonder Woman. That's why I'm like, what the
It's
wanna
that
talk about
social
signs?
thing. Yeah. It's that social thing because I don't really drink at all, but then like in a social which I'm not in very often, but a social situation like AMAC, we played band words and we were taking shots. And it was like that was fun and cool, but also then
You
when
ready
we
for
were
this?
done- Yeah.
I didn't even realize it. So we're 44 minutes in, and I didn't even ask you the first question yet. And that's kind of crazy.
That's okay though. Are we having fun? Because
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
fascinating to me.
No,
And
no,
those
no.
the stories are cool. Okay. I'm like,
We
I'm
have no
not ruining
restrictions over
it.
here.
Hopefully. Okay, okay.
That's why I kind of love Sea Circuit. That's why I'm gonna hate when eventually this channel's gonna be monetized. Gabe's gonna be like, "All right, B Circuit, fucking 3 a.m. or something," and then all the pressure. And here's what's funny is I'm gonna get the channel monetized, and all these interviews aren't really gonna count towards the monetization, and these are gonna be the best shows.
Yeah. Well, maybe the rewatch, maybe people will go back and check them out to find
True.
out like who some of the hosts are. Because there hasn't really been a channel where you do interviews with hosts and things like that. And there's always like 6 months down the line, people are like, well, what's the history with this person? So you never know. Maybe you can be like, well, go check out that interview that I did with them on Hero
Right.
or whatever the channel.
This is the perfect channel because I don't mind doing this stuff for free, and there really
Yeah.
is no restrictions. Like, say I did 3 interviews and you don't make no money. Keem doesn't watch all the shows. He would be like, damn, you're doing something wrong over there. You know, people aren't liking the content or whatever. And, you know, that's just how it is here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a slot. It's a casino filled with slot machines, and Keem sees who's gonna put quarters in what slot machines that day. And sometimes he moves the slot machines around like a fucking casino would. Sometimes even rebrands them, calls them different shit, puts up different lights and make them sprinkle and all that.
Yeah. Well, that we're going to be on Sea Circuit with Chubby, and that starts on Monday. And
Yeah.
so I'm excited
Yeah.
for
So
that too because
tell me about that. You get you went from, oh, I don't think you wanted to be a host, and now you want to host in the middle of the night?
well, I don't know what our time is going to be yet. We're going to be on Sea Circuit, so I think we're going to go whenever until August 1st, and then we might get moved to the middle of the night or wherever he wants to place us. I was going through an in real life situation where I had to fly across the country and take care of a family member, but luckily they thought it was a dementia, and it's not. She had a bad reaction to medication. So that was like a huge relief when all of a sudden they took her off that medication. She completely came back to who she was. Really great. So now I'm in a lot better place to be able to play over here and do hosting. And Tater and I actually have talked before about wanting to do a show together. Well, we said we wanted to do a show together with Iceman, but wanting to do a show together because we thought we could do like a lot of really like fun, crazy deep dives, but also like wear costumes. Tater's gonna teach me how to be sexy. You know, we're just gonna like have fun and watch crazy things and then
What
talk
do you
about
mean
the
she's gonna
conspiracy
teach you how to
behind
be
it.
sexy? I don't follow.
She said she's going to teach me how to be sexy, and she said she's going to teach me how to be
I don't think
a
that's something you
bully.
teach. I think a girl's either
You
sexy
don't
or
think I
she's
can
not.
learn? I need
I
to
don't
learn
think you need to
Pesci.
learn anything. You don't look that
You're with the
bad.
sexy.
Oh, it's
Well,
still.
Tater's got that like
Hey, that do not disturb
sensual.
thing didn't even work. You know,
What the
do not
heck?
disturb.
Hmm.
Oh, I know what's going on. The time limit ran off. Okay. What the fuck?
Oh, can we set it for higher?
Yeah, I
That's
got it
funny
now.
that right away they went straight back to calling you. Maybe they've been calling you this whole time.
Dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah.
Um, okay, what was I saying? Okay. I got an okay, I'll start with some of the questions I was gonna ask you.
Okay. Okay.
What was your first exposure to the LCU?
So, well, kind of two parts because I knew Xylee from the commentary community. So, like, Tommy C and Nicholas Durio always speaks like really highly of Xylee, and he'll always make comments
Yeah,
about like, oh, Xylee would have that information and pulling it off there. So
I
I
watched
knew
Nicholas.
that. Yeah, yeah, he's great. He's very entertaining. I can't even explain his sense of humor, but it's very, very entertaining and almost like unsanctimonious. I can't say the word. Um, Not like religious and following rules. He just says whatever the fuck he wants to say, and it's great. So there was that. Boogie I got introduced to from a friend who really liked him, and then I kind of watched Boogie's downfall. So there was like that kind of thing too.
So
But I
you
always still
watched the
like,
whole cancer thing?
I watched the whole cancer thing, but even before the cancer thing, I was watching kind of the downfall there and the money and the different things that happened there before he got into locale. And then how I got into locale is Foodie Beauty, who was just like another internet side thing that I watched. She did an interview on Queens with, I think, Mike and Keem. And it was really good and really funny. So I started watching that a little bit too, and I would just like pop back into locale. But for some reason, do you remember when Smooch ended up
What up, Nee
soloing on
Marie?
Babes?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So when Smooch soloed on Babes, it was like the perfect time, and I started watching it, and that's when like I really got into it. So I started watching Babes, and then I started watching Reapers, and then I it's just a slow
So
burn where
Babes,
you start
Babes was the
to it.
initial show.
I know, and I know it had like no viewers. I was one of the no viewers, okay, with me. It was
Well, I
me,
was on
Smooch.
Babes once with Smooch, and it was actually a very famous episode.
I
They made a
I
video about
watched
it.
it. I watched it when she did the in real life and you were running the OBS.
And I said, what was funny was,
Yeah.
I'll tell you where she made me blush was when she goes, "Did you just put me in the same category as Jim Crick?" And I go, "Yeah, why?" And she goes, "I'm honored." And I remember I started blushing for a minute and I turned away. I
I
was like,
remember.
because I really liked Smooch
I didn't know you
and
were.
I didn't know she
Smooch is
didn't,
too sweet.
I didn't know she knew like the Jim Crick thing. I mean, because like I said, I was just meeting a lot of those people for the first time in
Yeah.
person. And she brought that up. She goes, "Did you just put me in the same category as Jim Crick?" And I go, "Yeah, why?" I go, "Yeah, why?" And she goes, "I'm honored." And I was like, all right, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked that. See, I'm telling you, Jim Crick, it's a movement, man. It's all across. It's like an ocean going across all the channels, all the
That's why
chats.
that's why I put them in all the thumbnails. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us, let me shine that thumbnail for tonight. There's the beautiful thumbnail tonight. We got Kilala in the middle, Jim Crick on the side, and then of course me and with the glasses. But yeah, it's funny with everybody has their own kind of like lingo and stuff. And I always say there's stuff that I'll say that people will repeat again, and I kind of know that.
Mhm.
And I just don't say it in the beginning. Like I just don't go, "I'm saying that so one day you'll say it." It was like when they say, "Who's Jim Crick?" I said, "Don't worry about it. You'll see." You know what I mean? And there's other ones
Were you
I'll slip in, or other comments I'll slip in that kind of like, they tell a story sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like it's weird.
yeah.
Like I told you, it's like the sign thing. Like I say that, and I hope I'm right when I say you'll know one day, and they did. You know what I mean? There was no
It's
telling I was going to make it then in the beginning.
it's signs and then it's also manifestation, right? Because you're seeing the signs and then you're like speaking it out loud at the same time. Kind
Yeah.
of cool.
It was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like when
yeah.
everybody was quitting. I knew there was a domino going there. It was obvious that there was just a lot of frustration building up with everybody. And before you know it, everybody
Mhm.
was gone. And then
Yeah.
I was doing a speech about it, not because I thought I talked to somebody or something like that. People were like, "Oh, he knew something." No, I didn't. It was obvious that a lot of people were just at the end. I was not at the end of frustration. With me, I only left the last time because of the contract.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the time before, I only left for a week. And it was crazy was I was doubting my confidence, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then it was Yo Mama that reached out to me that really got me to come back after the week. He didn't say like come back or anything. He goes, "Hey man, I just want you to know those 2 solos you did before you left, those were pretty good shows." And he goes, but good. And he said, "But good luck with everything." He didn't say come back, or nobody asked me to come back. I don't want it to be like, yeah, the LCU reached back out to me. No, that time around, I left, and then like I always say, something brings you back, and I'm like, all right, you know what I mean?
It's cool to see people get so many chances and not get like, you know, to be able to come back. People are asking in the chat where Ron is. So I'll let you answer that.
Ron is why am I not seeing that? People are asking in the chat about Ron. No, I'll tell the Ron story. I'm just wondering why I didn't see that. Oh, somebody
I'm
just
on
said
top.
just now. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe my shit's just coming in
Are you
funny,
on
but
live
yeah.
chat or top chat?
Ron
I don't know if
is
that would make a difference.
Daisy, all right? Ron is an intern, so he could just come in when he wants. The problem is the later we go at times, he doesn't have the same amount of time. But Ron will
Oh,
definitely
okay.
be a part of this show. Keem likes him over here, and the man who pays says. So
How's it been going with Ron?
good. Oh no.
Good?
Ron's a nice guy. What it's going to really be about is when the channel gets monetized, because when the
Yeah.
channel gets monetized, that's when all the pressure begins. You know what I mean? That's why I'm cool with just doing cafe. If I just
Yeah.
in the end do cafe, the reason why I do like coming over here and doing this Sea Circuit show is there's some people out in the chat like Gonzo, BC, and Jacob. I know them personally, so I get to see them more here. Cafe, I can't. It's not that I can't talk to people up there. It's just it's such a jam packed show. I could only maybe look
Yeah.
at the comments, and when I'm usually cutting those promos, I can't read and cut promos at the same time. I'm so involved.
I can imagine that. And also Kathy, it feels like the chat's going boo 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 boo. It's hard to be able to take those one-on-one moments.
What was the first show that you jumped on?
So I guess Rain's OBS went down and Tech jumped on and ran OBS, and he went in the Discord and he said, "Hey, if there's any hosts that have traumatic stories, jump on Rain." And I said something like, "Oh, I have trauma to share, but I'm not a host." And Nope actually wrote back to me and was like go on and do it. We need you or something. So I just out of nowhere one day jumped up and told him like about a little bit about like my Mormon bishop, who is a very creepy man. And then Tammy said, "Oh, you should come back on and we can just do like a whole episode about like Mormonism." So I just thought I was going to do that. That episode went over. So she was like, "We'll come back tomorrow. We'll finish it up."
And
Went
this
back
is
the next
how long
day.
ago was this?
Probably like 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
And so then we did that, and then we were talking after in chat, and Yo Mama popped up once, and Tammy was like, and Desi was gone during this time, so Tammy was like, she'd be a great interview, or she would be a great intern for Rain, and we made jokes back and forth about magic underwear because that's what Mormons wear, and
Yeah.
I got made an intern, and then um, like a day or two in, Keem put out an announcement and said I was going to be filling in for Sweet Tea on Fluff. And I'm like, I guess I'm filling
Interesting.
in for Sweet Tea on Fluff.
Is that
So
now
that's
who makes that decision? Did AMAC reach out to
Keem.
you?
No.
Oh,
Keem
so
made it.
Keem got wind of you over on,
Yeah.
because I know he don't watch Rain. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying I'm not taking a shot at Rain, but Keem ain't watching Rain unless it was for the titty show today. Because someone was
Yeah.
probably like,
I missed the titty show, but I caught it
I did
yesterday,
too.
but I missed the titty show today. Yesterday's I caught. But I'll go back and I'll watch the titty show. Don't worry, I won't miss it. But yeah,
I had
that's
Melzifer on my show the other day. I don't know if you got to see that.
Yeah, I like Mel. She's very interesting, intellectual, like book knowledge, um, kind of a person. Which is, I don't know if there's any other like woman in the LCU that has that kind of information or brings that to a show. So that's cool. But then she
Some
also is
Wait,
about
someone said
boobs, so
is Ron going to be here tomorrow? Yeah, I think he is. He wants to be. Tomorrow's interview with Angel.
yeah.
Like I said, I'm going
Which
through all the hot chicks. Um, sorry,
oh
that
hi
doesn't bother
Al
you to be called a hot chick, does it? Some
Alvin.
girls they don't like to
I
be
don't
called a.
Oh, I didn't know you were talking about me.
I said, well, no,
I
I'm
don't feel
interviewing
like
all the hot chicks first. Like I had, who did I have on that?
very nice.
I
I
had
don't feel that
Christine
way,
on.
but it's very nice.
She's pretty. She looked great that day she was on.
I was there. Yeah, she looked great. Oh my
Didn't
gosh, she
she?
looked so good. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
She
was like really shocked.
As soon as she came on camera, I'm like, oh, glam is on.
Sorry if I'm looking
Christina
down. I'm just rolling this thing
Malsifer.
up.
No, you're good. And Angel, who's next after Angel? Who are your other interviews?
I'm gonna try to talk to Felony Melanie,
Oh, that would be good, especially because she's wrapping up to get an
and she's a
interview with
cop,
her.
and I'm
That would
like
be
a criminal.
great. Oh, please get her. That would be great.
Yeah.
I will definitely be there in the audience for that.
Now,
Um,
when you went on the Sweet Tea show or whatever when you were filling in, did you ever
yeah.
have in mind what kind of show you'd want to be on before you were made an intern? Like, was there a specific show you're like, yeah, I would this is the show for me?
No, I just thought it would be temporary and I would help out Sweet Tea and I didn't think that I would be a host. I didn't think that was going to be something that would happen. And I had
You
like
didn't think you had no chance of being a host?
no, I didn't. I like felt like a Make-A-Wish kid that I was just like because I love Fluff, like Sweet Tea and AMAC. That was my favorite show because it's a very girly pop show. And so I really liked watching it at the end of the night. So I was like, this is freaking great. Like I get to hang out with AMAC and we get to put shows together. AMAC is very good behind the scenes and like building things. And then we jump on the show and something crazy would happen on bus and the whole show would get derailed, but it was fun because
Wait,
people
boss.
would jump
You
up.
mean fluff?
So bus, when like tech quit on bus,
Yeah. I
when
remember
tech
that one day
scanned,
you were on there.
all those things happened, they redirected straight to us on Fluff. So it
Okay.
would be like the world exploded and then it would redirect to us on Fluff and then all the other hosts would jump on to be like, what the fuck just happened? So it actually made it really fun because the plan got thrown out the window, but then we got to talk with everyone and discuss what happened and like kind of be like detectives and piece it together. And
Were you guys
Hopper
only
jumped
because
up
I didn't get to
Hilly.
see a lot of fluff? Usually, I'm like asleep,
Yeah,
um, or whatever. But I can see I can't watch every show because I don't have time. It's not like a shot at
no
other
one
shows.
can.
It's like
No one can. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to watch
and
the shows I watch.
yeah. And what would you what kind of stuff would you guys do? Like what when you were filling in? Were you guys commentating? Were you talking
So,
about girly
so
stuff?
yeah, AMAC is good at going over the drama. We talked about ghosts. We talked about there was like a ton of different things. I had video dockets or videos of for us to go through. I actually made like this whole I like making quizzes. And so I made like
Yeah.
this whole quiz of like whether tattoos were AI or not. And we never even like got to it because like I said, it would be crazy drama kept happening that whole week. And
Yeah.
so things kind of
That's
got moved.
wild how that works, ain't it?
Yeah. But I know like this Friday they're doing a Jeopardy episode and they have it like really worked out. Glammy's going to be on it and it's like Glammy versus
I
Sweet
saw that.
Tea.
Now
Yeah.
that is a fucking great idea.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. And I got a little peek at stuff and she, AMAC has done it like very well. So that's going to be a great show. And now with working with Mike, I'm sure there's going to be more stuff that's similar to what they did before with Sweet Tea. You know, I think it's a little easier when it's the actual host and not someone
See,
filling in.
yeah, no, and see that, and that's where I got lucky because coming up with a plan every day for these shows, it gets hard. Like
Yeah.
I'm so blessed to be on Cafe, like, and then not only that, like to have Keem like what I did up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To
Well,
where,
and to go up on the show, for Keem to go up on the show too and say it
yeah,
in front of the audience and everyone is a big deal because he could have said that on any show. But the fact he's like confirming what a lot of people are saying that like Pesci and Batgirl are great together on Cafe, that's
yeah.
kind of a big deal. I would feel good if that happened to me. Yeah.
No, it was definitely cool. Like I said, if there's one guy you want to give you props for something, it's that guy. And he doesn't do that a lot. But like I said, that just means it's like pressure on. I didn't take it as
Yeah,
okay,
it
yeah,
is.
like we won, flag in, let's party, bring Crick out. You know what I mean? It was more like, all right, now we have to like overperform. We have to, get better each thing or add a different element. And I have like, for instance, I'm getting the open. I've been playing with the open the last couple days. Like I've been seeing what works, and I finally got it. I think tomorrow will be what I'll probably say most days, with a little bit of a change up. But Batgirl has it so I could talk during the riff of the music. It's not just music and I'm doing it. I like to be able to go during the thing when I do the "We Are Live,"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
from downtown Cleveland, something like that. You can't do that on all the shows, but I'm adding that element to that show, and Batgirl kind of just allows me to do it. You know what I mean? I'll say, yeah, it's top of the hour. Or I'll be like, it's the bottom of the hour, or stuff like that you would say on like a radio place.
That's like kind of elements that Tommy C brought too, was like very much like early morning radio show. So I think that's part of why the transition is good too, because you have a lot of those same, like, obviously you went to broadcasting school, so a lot
Yeah.
of those same ways of navigating an on air instead of just like, a VC call. You're actually putting like a show on. So it's yeah, it's been cool to see. I like it. I'm digging it.
Yeah, for the people out there, if you don't watch Cafe in the morning. It definitely is a good show. We run out of time every day up there. It's the first show I was ever on where you literally run out of shit. The time runs out before you even can finish. I remember being on Gay where we would be like, an hour and a half in, like, all right, is this ever going to end or?
Yeah. You see that with a lot when it was 2 hours, a lot of shows there with a
Yeah.
hour and a half mark. It was like, oh, well,
When
we have a half hour left.
have you always had the favorite show? Do you have a favorite show here?
Right now I love Fluff. I love Cafe. I love Reapers. I love nature. I love the creativity that Bones brings, and the dynamic of Nick and Bones is really fun. I did like them more at 6 a.m. because I felt like right now, I don't know
MTV
if you
Nick's
know.
is growing on me a lot. I don't mind Bones. I don't know. It's not that like people think I mind these people. I don't. It's like my job on Cafe is to like clown everybody.
Yeah.
My favorite show is Pit.
Yes. Oh, I didn't even say Pitt, but I do. I Pitt is absolutely one of the best shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you like Pitt?
Huh?
Why do you like Pitt so much?
Well,
Why is that your favorite?
what people don't remember, some people remember is Yo Mama was the first guy to bring me on when I became intern, like on the show to kind of
Oh,
get me introduced, like, and that's how Keemstar saw me, was on Yo Mama's show. And I didn't even really do much that show, but he was getting ready to have Candy as his co-host, but he brought me up there to just see what I had or whatever. And I remember I asked Yo Mama before I went up, I said, look, man, at the end, just tell me if you think I could be a host or not. You don't even have to hold back, lie, be nice. If you tell me, in my head, I said this, obviously he said, no, he goes, even if I tell you can't be a host, you don't have to leave or whatever. I told myself, I go, if you tell me I can't be a host here, I'm out. I go, I'm not even wasting my time. You know what I mean? I'm not even
yeah.
going to waste anyone's time. And long story short, he had me up there and he goes, oh yeah. He goes, you'll be a host here. He goes, yeah, 100%. And
Yeah, it
then
had to have felt good.
so he was, when he said that, and I remember I went on Gidgey's show, Rebel, when I was intern there, and we had a lot of good shows, but mainly it was me yelling at her, and that was the show. It was me and her yelling back and
Really?
forth at each other. Yeah, you have to go watch it. There's some interesting clips
Yeah,
from
I'll have
there.
to check it
That's
out.
like the first time I said Jim Crick and all that stuff. But what's funny was I would be cutting promos on her, and I never really enjoyed it. Like, I really would get legitimately mad. Like, I wasn't allowed to be myself there, other than the part where I would be kind of screaming at her. And I remember Keem was getting a kick out of it because, they were all fucking with Gidgey at that time because she was fucking with everybody else, and it was kind of like a back and forth. She just was
Yeah.
like the tornado of tornadoes during that time. She's a good person. She just goes through these whirlwinds of crazy shit. What up, Schmidt? He goes, is this
Which
the
brought
girl
the
from
content.
Murphy Beds, Pesci? Oh, no. I'll send you that video. The Murphy Beds
Okay,
video
yeah.
is it's a funny video. I can't play it on here because it's copyrighted and Keem would get pissed
Okay.
off, but it is hilarious. And I think
Yeah, I want to see
Kilala
it.
looks
Send it.
better than the Murphy Beds girl, by the way. But yeah, the Murphy Beds girl is this blonde chick. I'll send it to you. It's a funny, funny
I want to
video.
see it for sure.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
great.
I'm totally into that. Wow,
I
so
should have
you and Dave,
BC.
that's
BC, do me a favor if you're out there, BC. You're allowed to share links. Put the link to our girl, the Beds girl, the Murphy Beds. Why am I dropping the thing? She sings a. Why am I drawing a blank? What's the song, Schmidt?
oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I know
finally
who it is.
Ninja. That's
I
it.
want to be
I'm finally.
ninja. I know it. I know it. I know that video.
Oh, okay. Finally
Yeah, that's
Ninja. That's who
yeah,
they
I
said
saw it
you look
on
like. I,
Bobby Lee's
I, Bobby
podcast.
Lee is great.
Yeah, Bobby Lee is so funny, man. I love Bobby Lee. Yeah, yeah, he's great.
Bobby
I
Lee reacting to her was hilarious. Oh, I've watched that video many times.
yeah, that like kicked off their Bad Friends podcast too, because it was one of the first episodes. They did freaking yeah,
Oh, that
they
was
did
one
great.
of
They're
the
still
first.
doing great. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
thinking of his face in that when they're showing it to him and he goes, "What the fuck is this?" Dude, he's
yeah,
too
yeah.
good. Yeah, thanks
I
for
love
sharing
Bobby
that,
Lee,
BC. Ladies and gentlemen,
like
give
Mad
that
TV.
video a check. I want to be Ninja. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Um, um, sorry. So
no,
yeah,
you're
we were
okay.
talking about Pitt before. Pitt was the way I got up here, and then Rebel, and the rest is history. And then I'm now on Cafe, which ended up being the blessing.
Yeah, which is great. It's like it feels like you finally found a home and we can see you shining commentary. I was gonna say with Yo Mama, so I told you I started watching LCU with like the Foodie Beauty interview. So Yo Mama used to do commentary on Girl World, but what he did is he like flipped it. So he would do commentary on all of the other detractors, kind of like he does here at the
Yeah,
LCU, where he does it on all the other hosts. And so I always thought he was so fun. And I wouldn't even like, I never watched ALR. I never watched anyone else. Foodie Beauty was the only one I watched. But I would watch things through Yo Mama because he would make it so interesting and so funny. And the way he clowned on people was just like, and pointing out hypocrisy was so good. So it was fun to see him over here.
he's always, a lot of people say bad shit about him, but he's always said nice things to me. Like it's crazy. Like I always expect one day, like in the beginning at least, I was like, oh yeah, there's gonna be one day I'll be up there getting roasted by him, and no, I was able to kind of stay on his good side or whatever. It's not about staying on his good side because he'll even clown on people that are on his good side in a heartbeat. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's like a respecting at times. Like I never really did anything that would kind of like throw him off. You know what I mean? I've done some shit, but nothing I couldn't come back from. Um.
Were you able to watch Pitt tonight since you have Angel on
Oh yeah.
tomorrow? Okay. So I just wanted to make sure you cover that subject.
What'd you think of it?
So I I mean, I don't know if you heard him at the end when he was talking to Hatred before the camera went off, but he was like, "That was a great show." And I'm like,
He's got to stop
"It's
doing
true."
that.
Well, but I mean, it was like it was a
It
great
kills
show. Like
kayfabe a little bit. But I don't think
yeah.
he realized it. He's like, great show, dude. Like at the end of the show, and that shows you how nice of a guy he is.
Yeah, yeah. There it was crazy though, like to think about how many
Like
different things happened all at once. We went on like a journey over here. Keem comes on, there's a whole conflict and conversation. Hatred all of a sudden is speaking up and talking and saying opinions. And I'm like, I'm starting to like Hatred as a host on freaking Pit because I've never heard him talk before. Like
I do like the idea that
it
he
was
was fighting
crazy.
Yo Mama. I do appreciate that. He was dick riding Keem or whatever. That was obvious, but that's
Yeah.
good. Yo Mama knows that's good because it's better that Hatred is more of a fuck up than a non
Well,
fuck up.
it's also like Yo Mama is at his best when he has opposition and someone is against him because then he's able to like explain why he thinks the other person's wrong. The other person's able to come back at him and they're able to go back and forth. And if I don't know if they could actually figure out how to do that and could be co-hosts at the same time, like if Hatred doesn't get too sensitive, maybe he could be a good OBS runner for in real lives that Yo Mama wants to do. I don't know. I just was really surprised by like what he said, hate what he said. I'm not, I'm kind of one for entertainment more than anything else. So like as long as I'm entertained and having a good time, that's what I care about. But yeah, I was super impressed with with Hatred's ability to talk up because Yo Mama's intimidating. It's,
Sure.
you know, he's
Yeah,
a big,
usually, like when your mama, we were on Crip the other day and your mama jumped up there. I was up there with Josh. And when your mama's talking, I usually kind of sit back and let him, I let him have the floor. I'm not afraid to
yeah,
say anything. Me and him get along quick, but that's just the respect I have for that guy. It's like
I was gonna say respect.
he jumps up, he starts talking, you're like, oh shit, this is your mama. This is, he's got something to
Yeah,
say. I get a kick out of most of the shit he says. So like that
I do
day,
too.
Boogie was on this channel and they were having that big fight with Keem and he was mad that he thought he might be leaving and he was dropping all those F slurs or whatever. I was
Yeah.
laughing, but I didn't realize that meant the channel we couldn't use that video after that. I didn't even realize I'm laughing because
Oh
Boogie's over here losing
no.
it. And then Keem goes, I don't know why you're laughing, Pesci. We can't even monetize this video now because of Boogie.
Because then you couldn't use that because that had a ton of watch hours too.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was jumped over here. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, it's also a bummer that he said that too, I guess.
Yeah. We had a
Yeah.
shitload of people on here. Do you read now? You said, did you watch the old days?
Of the LCU?
Yeah.
No, but I have done like research. Like I've looked up clip channels because there's a lot of things that aren't
Aren't
like
gone. Yeah, the best
actively
videos
on
are Becky.
channels. Yeah.
Obviously, the best videos are
That's
Becky.
I've seen anything with Becky, I think that's out there because everyone would talk about her so much, and so I spent a day trying to find anything I could. So I watched like I think her name was iVixie, but she did like a couple deep dives on Becky, and then other people just have like playlists of it. There's not a lot out there, but what I've saw, like I can see why everyone talked about her, why
She
she
was
was so
great.
entertaining.
We
Yeah.
actually know each other personally because she was going to have me be in her network, but then she didn't do it. It was me going on
Oh,
her show, is how
yeah.
somebody over here saw me. And
Oh,
when
really?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had no idea.
I
That's
never tried
crazy.
out
They
for the
poached
LCU. You
you
know
from
what's funny
her.
is I watched the LCU for months and
Uh-huh.
I never even commented in a chat ever. Like, I think I commented in Billy's chat a couple times because he
Wow.
actually would,
Yeah.
because a lot of them were members only. A lot of the early shows were members
Oh,
only. You got to remember, this is before this.
crazy.
Yeah, it was live, was always members only. Queens for sure, members only. They were making record money then. So they
Yeah.
were always on members only. And, Becky had a lot of trolls or whatever, but Rewind was not. I think Rewind was the first show I ever commented on, and like Billy actually read my comment. But then, eventually Balls and all these other crazy shows came, and then that's when I eventually tried out. But it was after I went on Becky's because I sent a super chat one day on a show I was watching, and it had nothing to do with me on Becky's show or nothing. And I asked a question, and somebody was reading a super chat, and they didn't even answer the question. They go, Sir Joseph Pesci. They're like, you ever heard this guy talk before? And then I remember Billy was like, no, I never heard him talk before. And the guy he was on the show with was like, he goes, yeah, this guy sounds just like Joe Pesci. He goes, we need to get him in here. And that was Rastoff, of course, at the time, but now Rastoff's Voldemort. And
Yeah.
he made me intern. Now, Keem wasn't there for my original being made intern because Boogie was in the hospital, and I don't think Keem got to see it. Keem didn't see me until I went on Yo Mama's show. And then that's when, what's funny was I went on Your Mama's show and he goes, yeah, we'll figure out a place for you. And he was getting ready to announce Fat Camp 2. And I'll never forget this. This was actually a nice thing, Akeem. He was getting ready to make that announcement. Now, I was in members waiting. This was funny. I was in members waiting as an intern. I didn't know how important it was he was going to make the announcement. I was like, fuck. But I stayed in members waiting, and I'm like, maybe he'll pull me in a little bit. He pulled me in before they made that big announcement. I was surprised he even took the time to pull me in. He goes, Pesci, what's up? And I go, yeah, I was looking to be, an intern on one of the shows. And this is right before he was going to mention Fat Camp 2. And he goes, yeah, we'll put you on Rebel. But the thing is, he could have just left me in members waiting. You know what I mean? He didn't have to pull me in or whatever. You know what I mean? There would be, this is back in the days where Live would have a whole bunch of people in members waiting. It wasn't just,
Oh,
you know what I mean? There would always somebody try, like when Keem was on the show, there was always people trying to jump on because he usually would just fucking just randomly pull you up and go, all right, cubicle drainage, how you doing? And then if you were good enough, he'd be like, all right, intern later. You know what I mean? And you
That's
never knew who
awesome.
he would pick. You know, so that was what was the cool thing about Keemstar was you never knew what kind of guy he'd bring in, and he never like had a bias. You know, you could look like an idiot, you could look like a whatever, a thug, you could look like whatever, and he'll bring you in. You know what I
That's what's
mean?
cool about this place is like it's not just one type of person. You know what I mean? It's like you could be anybody with like any different background, and as long as they're vibing with you, and they can see that you bring something different to the table, like come on, hang out. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
I like it.
When's your first episode of Chubby? Ladies and gentlemen, she's going to be the new host of Locale Chubby with Tater.
Yes. Yeah. So Monday's gonna be our first day. I don't know the time yet, but for sure Monday's gonna be our first day. We've got a lot of things planned. She's getting all the assets in order.
Who's running
She's got a
OBS?
song going. That's the fun part is we don't have an OBS runner. So
What time are you guys going at?
I don't know the time. I don't
Like,
know the
I
time.
could potentially help you guys. It would depend the time.
Yeah.
Someone said iVixie is a good one. What, when me and iVixie had a back and forth, we made up after that.
I think with the Becky, because that's what I said. I watched the iVixie Becky
Oh,
deep dive.
okay.
Yeah. And it's one of the only ones out there. There's like not really any other like breakdowns of Becky's time in the LCU.
You can
It'd
perform a
be
magic trick right now if you want, Slytherin, if you're around.
Yeah, I want to see it. Please come up. I wanted him to come up on another show.
Oh,
He's
you know who
Chuck says he can
Slytherin
run
is?
OBS. Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
was watching the Alpha show and he was a contestant on it. And the first day he got voted off, but I talked to Bones and Bones was trying to vote for him, not against him. So he shouldn't have gotten voted off. So Bones was dropping money thinking that he was dropping money for Slytherin to win, and instead he got him kicked off the show.
Now, I wanted to bring up this rain scenario. You were like a
Yeah.
fan of Desi, and now would you say it just
So
wasn't
I
meant to
don't
be between Desi and Tammy?
I
Was
wasn't a
Tammy in
fan of
trouble with
Desi.
Desi?
I never had watched Rain before, so I wasn't a fan of Desi, but because I just haven't seen the shows.
Yeah.
But I know Desi likes Disney. I know she likes Disney parks. I know that she has like lots of pop culture things. So I was excited to be able to work with her because those are things that I feel like I could do. And like I said, I like doing like
I just got a
little
message from
quizzes.
Smooch.
Did you really?
Yeah, she's back in the Discord too. Yeah, she was just kind of saying you're doing good at Cafe. Yeah, Smooch. I should tell her I'm live on Hero too. I'm gonna let her know that.
I hope she's got to do what she's got to do, but I hope she comes back.
I believe she's back in the Discord. I don't know.
Yeah,
I remember
we'll see.
it said, I saw her in main chat once, but she might already left again. Who knows? Yeah, if you want to jump up, Slytherin, don't be afraid of the lovely Kilala. Yeah, you know what's funny is Kilala is the first time we met. This is how I felt around you. I felt like we weren't even strangers, and we were just meeting for
I
the
felt the
first
same
time,
way.
technically.
Yeah, I felt the same way. It just felt like, I don't know, some people when I meet, it's like, oh, I can talk to this person, no problem. But
Yeah.
a lot of people I meet, I'm like shy, I shut down, I can't say anything. I like feel like I have to watch my P's and Q's. So it was
Like
really nice to
when I asked
feel
you to
that way.
come on, I was like, I knew you would. And I'm not saying to
Yeah.
be like an asshole, but it was just like I knew you would. And when we had you on for the Christina thing, like I said, it felt like I didn't even, it wasn't even like, hi, my name's Pesci or whatever. It was just we almost just felt like we knew each other or
Yeah.
whatever. That
I was
was
like,
kind of
okay,
interesting.
are we
That's what I
ready to
said.
do the show?
And that was just like sometimes, and because I'll be on with some hosts, and I really will feel kind of like a stranger at times. Where I'll be like, "Yeah, how you doing?" Like I've never met Sweet Tea before. You know that?
Yeah. No, I didn't know that. You should pop up and say hi sometime.
No, I know I should. She actually gave me a good compliment about me on Cafe, and I reached out to her and I said thank you, and I sent her a friend request recently, and I remember I said, I just remember I accidentally when I accepted the friend request, I just accidentally put hello. but I didn't mean to do that. You know, you accidentally will type things, and I
Yeah,
typed
yeah.
hello, and she was like, "Hey, welcome back," and all this. I was like, "Fuck!" I didn't. I felt like a nerd because I wasn't saying hello like, in a DM.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, she's
I'll have to introduce. I never met her before, and I've only been on a panel with like Billy once. But we met at Fat Camp.
really.
We met at Fat
Yeah,
Camp though.
okay. I was gonna say because it felt really good when like you came back and then Billy's back. Now Tommy C is back. It just like it brings a lot of I do like having a balance with like the male energy and the female energy and that's why I was surprised too that I got host just because I do think we could balance it out and have, a little more male presence than some of the like other side shows. Um, but but yeah, it was nice to have you guys back for sure. It's been so fun as
And
a
I
viewer,
and I'll tell
you
you
know.
another weird thing. Damn, man, I hope Abby Cat comes on one day. So I messaged Abby the other day thinking that
Uh-huh.
she was already fired. Talk about future shit with me again. So I'm messaging her and I'm like, "Hey, if you want, you can start jumping on my show. You could be like my assistant or whatever." You know what I mean? Because I thought she got her host role taken.
Yeah.
Go to find out, she didn't have her host role taken when I sent her that message. She never responded. I mean, I don't blame her. She was probably like, this is kind of weird.
What?
And I go, but now she doesn't have a host role. So I wonder if now
Yeah.
she'll see the message and go, yeah, I'll come over there. When I said assistant, I just meant, she's like someone that kind of just likes to hang out or whatever. So it's like you kind of
Hmm.
just have her in the background. You don't have to put too much stress on her or pressure, and she gets to still come around or whatever. But who knows? I guess she's gone. Is Fupa still around?
Yeah, I think they are both if Fire's getting recast. They were both fired off Fire, but I don't think they're fired off being hosts. I don't know. I feel like something's in the works and I want to see it unfold. I want to know I want to know what's going to happen, but I'm not sure what it is, but I hope it's entertaining.
What
So who
up,
knows what'll
Cosby?
happen?
Shout out to my very close friend Cosby's Quaalude Connects. I actually know this guy, believe it or not, but he's actually a very close friend. Good to see you in the building tonight, sir. What up, T Berry? Where's Christina and Ron? Well, Christina's not on this show, unfortunately, and she was actually in the chat. So Christina's always around and she knows she's allowed to come in. She just is kind of easing herself back in. Ron, um, he wanted me to go much earlier. And to be honest, it was during like hours when Live and Pit were on. And with all that
Mm,
shit that was going on, it would have been
that
unrealistic. Wasn't like we had a million people in here tonight, but um, it's a lot easier to kind of go when stuff kind of calms down.
yeah.
But Ron is very much a part of the show. Hero, there's still lots of questions on what Hero's going to be. For now, it's just me interviewing a lot of the future hosts or someone like that. I'm going to try to get that Kate, the angelic assassin, on here. I know her. And,
Oh, I'll watch that if she I hope she comes on.
oh, yeah,
I bet
she's
a lot of
actually
people would
very
watch
smart.
that.
I mean, everyone always thinks it's because
Well,
they're all pretty, but that's
she
part of it.
hosted Kate hosted with Smooch for a while, and I watched all those episodes too because I was watching Smooch solo. I watched her with Kate. I watched her with So it was very yeah, I hope she comes on. That would be great. And I bet a lot of
Letting
people
this
would want to watch
EM
it
the
too.
smooch real fast. Letting her know that I'm on Hero as well. I don't think she knew that.
If you could get Smooch to come on and do an interview, that would be good too.
Yeah, probably. I never even
That
thought
would
of
be
that.
great. And then maybe if there's anything she feels like she needs to say, you're kind of unbiased. It might be a good place to be able to say it, but only if she feels comfortable. But Smooch, if you're out there,
You would have to come on for that one because you know a little bit more about the lore. I wouldn't know what kind of
yeah,
questions to ask her in that department. I know other questions I could ask her that would be fine.
Yeah, I probably don't know like the deep cut stuff. I probably know more of like the frilly fun stuff. But I would happily come on too.
Sir Rap says,
Anytime you
"Where's
want me to come
Albert?"
on.
Albert's actually with a girlfriend now, and he's doing some different things at the moment. LCU, they did offer him to bring him back, but the guy that was going to come back with him kind of fucked that up, which was Scooter. Um,
Oh yeah.
but Albert wants
Would
to
that
make
have
some
been
money
good?
right now.
I like Albert. I it sounds like he's doing a lot of cool things in his in real life, and that's great. But if he ever wanted to come back, I'm sure he absolutely could.
Yeah, I think I think he makes more. I just think right now for him, he needs that because when he comes back, he's gonna have to go through. He would have to probably go through another redemption arc, and those are hard to do.
Yeah.
And because he's such a polarizing character. You know, when if like for instance, if Albert Dan would have been on this show tonight, people just come out of the woodwork to watch him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, but that's part, get the views up, get an
Oh
Albert
yeah,
on.
no,
Who
we
knows
loved it.
what's gonna happen? Yeah,
I
yeah.
dude, when we were on Gay during Fat Camp, there was 1,000 people in there.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Like that was a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, everyone else was doing, double numbers as well, but we were one of the ones that were holding views and it was fun.
I liked Gay with you and Albert, and I think I caught it with you, Albert, and Phantom more than I caught it with who was before Phantom?
Booster Gold.
Booster Gold. Okay.
I love Booster.
I got in trouble for talking to
That
Booster.
was a very underrated show with me, Booster, and Albert. That show, there was funny moments when they would have their back and forth and me playing the sound effects and all that.
People have cool suggestions in the chat too. They said they'd love to see an interview with you and Tommy C. That might be really cool.
Yeah, I don't see. I'm not saying Tommy wouldn't do it, but right now it would be too much to ask him. It's like
Yeah.
really late. He's in Germany.
He's in Germany. I know he
And
does
he's
like
always got shit going
two
on.
other
He streams on
podcasts.
his
Yeah.
own podcast as well. Maybe if I was talking to him a little bit more, I would. It's so much easier to ask someone like you or Melsifer or Angel, because a lot of you guys were actually watching me before
Yeah.
that you were up here. So that's why I don't know. I think sometimes when people have watched me, it's easier for me to approach them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that absolutely makes sense. Well, because it's a connection and a relationship. If someone lets you know, like, hey, I watched you before, and you're like,
Like
oh, okay, so
I wouldn't
you
ask
get my
Billy the Fridge to
style.
do this, even though I would love
Yeah.
to. I wouldn't ask him. I would have to be like maybe in person and got really cool with him and said, "Hey man, will you jump on Hero one day?" But I don't feel comfortable just messaging him and like how I message you and I'm like
Yeah,
talk to
yeah.
speech and all that. Like I feel like I know you well where it doesn't bother me. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
And
probably
you
gonna
knew
be like I'm gonna have like Angel, Felony, Melanie.
yeah,
Um,
get Felony.
Maybe I'll have Hatred on one night.
That would be good, I think. Especially now, as I would want to talk to him after the pit internship, because I just think it would be interesting to hear what he has to
I'll bring
say.
you on maybe for that one.
Yeah, I absolutely I'll come help out whenever I
You,
can. So
you
you
know
just
what
let me
stuck
know.
out to me is the way he was treating that girl that he calls his girlfriend or whatever. He's in
Hmm.
trouble when you treat a girl like that.
Why?
Usually,
Why? Because I don't know. I like feel for them, I think. Because everyone loved them together, and then as soon as the audience flipped on hatred, suddenly all the hate went towards him and Chillery. And so, like, for me seeing it in the Discord where everyone was hyping him up to now flipping on it, I just kind of feel for it, but that's just me. But you tell me, why is he in trouble?
I don't think a relationship could last when you treat the girl like that. And now you bring her on TV and she meets all these stars. She's, going to be in other people's DMs before you know it. Like, for
I don't
instance,
know.
I
I
would
think she's
never
super loyal.
let's say a girl like just a random chick here. They're like, yeah, I want like I when they would do those dates or whatever, I'd be like, I would never date a girl that I can't see. Does that make sense? Like,
Because she wasn't on
let's say
screen.
you're like have to think, I want to get to know you. I want to be your girlfriend or whatever, something along those lines. It wouldn't matter how good they look. I'm not gonna do no long distance relationship. If I'm gonna be in a relationship with someone, they gotta be within distance or something, or a way you could actually talk to them, because the reality is 9 out of 10 times those things never work. Or usually the people are already talking to a whole bunch of people as it is.
I don't get that. Okay, and maybe I'm like just someone who loves love. I
They're
probably
very
am. Like
loyal.
I'm not a romantic person like necessarily myself, but I love like when other people seem like they're really in love and I root for them for sure. And how we can definitely talk about like how people are treated, but it feels like she really really cares for
Someone
him
said,
and loves him
Pesci,
and
can
is
you
really
tell the
loyal.
story about the Doberman, the Mexicans, and the cops? I don't have time to do that tonight. I'll tell it one day.
Is it
I used to have a Doberman. His name was Pablo.
Pablo, like Pablo Escobar?
Yeah, I named him after Pablo Escobar.
Oh, that's great.
Well, the
Okay.
show was
Well,
just
tell
came
me.
out when I got him. When I got him, that show came out on Netflix. You
Uh-huh.
remember the Pablo Escobar show on Netflix?
I've never seen the show, but I just know about him from like the news and from reading things
Yeah.
sideways. I would love to watch the Netflix show. It's like on my list of things I want to watch.
Yeah,
So,
I forget what the name of that show was. It wasn't called Pablo Escobar, but it was about Pablo Escobar. It was called damn. Anybody know that Netflix fucking
I can try and look too.
it was, it was about the cartels. It was great. You would love it. You should watch that. You'll thank me.
I definitely want to.
It's got a great, and listen, the entrance music. Okay, we got about 24 minutes. Um the entrance or the intro music, you'll love.
Narcos.
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 Bingo.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to watch that. My friend, one of my best friends, she lived in Chihuahua, Mexico, which like has a lot of cartel activity and a lot of things like that. And now she lives in Utah. She moved out here, but some of the stories she's told me is crazy. And then in Mexico, there's like this sect of Mormons that moved down there, and they live in Mexico, and they're one of the only like groups of people other than the cartel that are completely armed, and they like fight the cartel on an individual level. There's like a really interesting Vice video that they did on it, but it's just crazy that like that is such a Mormon thing to do, to like move to Mexico. They don't
Yeah.
drink, they don't smoke, they don't do drugs or anything. So what do? They decide to get guns and decide that they're like going to stand up against the cartel. Of course, Mormons would do
So
that.
someone says, Gonzo says, Felony Melanie sounds like a great show. Well, she's a cop or an
Yeah.
old cop, so it'll be interesting. And she goes, Pesci, you won me over. I was like, all right. And she was actually watching Cafe today. I was surprised to see that because she acted like she was watching Cafe. She goes, I want the Pesci from Rebel. I'm like, have you been watching Cafe? And she acted like she was, and she wasn't. And then I was like, I do the same promo shit up there that I was doing on Rebel. Rebel wasn't even a great show. It was just great because I would scream at another woman and it looked funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was
I
miserable.
want to, I really want to see you with Felony
This cat
Melanie.
lady was on the episodes too.
How do you feel about Cat Lady leaving? Were you guys close, or since you
Well,
were on
we
the show
weren't close,
together?
but we have like a respect for each other. Like,
Yeah.
when you're like cool with someone, it's like, for instance, it's like how me and you are.
Hmm.
I'm just like generally cool with people. I'm not, you know what I mean? There's no like other
Bad
side to
blood
me. There's
or
no like, oh, Pesci gets a little bit too clingy or shit like that. I'm just very
yeah.
normal, boring, normal guy for the most part. You won't get much drama out of me. That's why it's like I probably wasn't ultimately great for this network because I'm not really a drama starter. I'll try to keep something going, but Cafe kind of allows me to be a shit stirrer a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's been a blessing
And
in
it's your job.
disguise.
It's your job to be a shit stirrer
It's
too.
my
So it's
job to
like
be the
if
shit stirrer.
someone says something about it, it's like that's my
And I'm
job.
allowed
That's
to
what I'm
say
doing
stuff
here.
about, to an extent. I could criticize things Keem does, and Keem's not going to shoot me down because he knows I'm doing it for the better of the show. Like you'll see me at times go up there and I'll be like, Keem, I gotta give you a little shit on this one. And then but you gotta earn that right, through doing well.
Yeah.
And we'll see. You know what I mean? You gotta start you gotta do good on the report card side of things. That's the big thing. I'm doing
Yeah.
well as the show goes. It's been good. And I used to do a segment like Cafe, just not on LCU. I used to do it on Dark Side Phil. It was called the Detractor Alley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was a
like the name
segment
of
that I
that,
used to do on my
Distractor
channel.
Alley.
Yeah, I used to do it on Dark Side Phil, and it was one of the things that people would like me doing. And I used to do it on another guy that I did a podcast with. His name was Ken Bolin. He was in the wrestling business. It was kind of the guy that gave me my start podcasting, and
Hmm.
the Detractor Alley was always like my good element show because I would just be watching something and I would pause and then I would go off or say my piece or whatever. And usually I could do it for like hours. You know what I mean? It would be like I wouldn't
Yeah,
blink an
yeah.
eye. I could do the show over and over. You know what I mean? There was no like stop in my game. It wouldn't be like, all right, I'm done. If there was something to talk about, I could keep going and going and going. That's why I told Batgirl today, we're only doing hour and a half shows now. I'm like, damn, we could go another hour. And she knew we could because we only
Yeah.
got through like a portion of our stuff. And I'm finding shit to say after every video. I'm like, pause, instantly. Like
Yeah.
they're saying
Or
one
even
line and I'm already like, let me in.
even today she was like, we have to cover this tomorrow, remember to cover this tomorrow. I think Cafe should be 2 hours. I think Reaper should be 2 hours,
Pit,
and then the pit
live.
live for sure should be 2 hours. So maybe, and maybe you could still keep the hour and a half shows, you know what I mean, in between, so it's still a full circuit. Because I don't think every show has to be 2 hours, but because it has
Slick
healthy other
Walker
shows.
says Pesci should cover DSP here. I might do a DSP segment before we get monetized. See, here's the problem. Once this show gets monetized, yeah, if I covered DSP and the show made money, yeah, Keem would let it go. But if I'm covering DSP and the show's just not making any money, these guys have to go by the money book. It's just reality. It's not even a bad thing. He'll move any show. I've seen him move his friends. All right, Boogie's, his spot is his spot, but Keem will move you. You know what I mean? There's no like, there's no loyal. There's loyalty to he'll keep you aboard, but if you're not performing in some areas, especially financially, they gotta change it up because it's not about freebie podcast. That's not why it runs. It's like
Yeah.
it's a gear. It needs oil. And Keem likes to have extra oil. It's not a bad thing.
No, for sure it's not a bad thing. And also I think when he moves people around who, like, look at him moving Fupa and the change that she was able to make with Fire. She's fired today, but before then she did bring a lot more views to it. It was like a lot more working it up to get to where it needed to be. She always wanted to do commentary. I wonder if they'll try her out on something like that, or if she's done. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, do you think there's too many commentary shows here? Because that's been thrown out a lot.
Yeah, I think that I don't think there's too many commentary shows right now when it comes to like Pit is not really commentary because they do other things, but they bring commentary in it, and that's very funny. Um, Rewind, being half commentary, half hangout, I think would be like a really good thing. I'm absolutely fine with that. Reapers is great because it's more almost, I don't even know how to explain it, like a factual breakdown
Yeah.
of what happened with like a full context, and then Xylee giving her take on it. And then Cafe is like a great morning show. And there's not always necessary, it's not like, the great thing is it's not always repetitive. It's not like everyone's pulling the same clips for every single thing. But I do think sometimes it's hard when you get into the groove of other shows and they spend the first hour recapping all the LCU drama instead of creating content to get clipped. which I think would be more what you would want to do because if you're a little show and you get on Cafe, way more people see it. Maybe they'll check out your little show, or if you get on Reapers or if you get on Pit, it can give you an opportunity that way. But I also know that it's really fun for people and a lot of like the girl shows too. It's fun to be able to talk about and gossip about what happened and speculate. So
See,
it just seems
I
like there needs
think
to be a balance.
I think what people don't realize is when people say there's too many commentary shows or too many shows that are talking about the other shows, the problem is the fans, that's what they always want to hear about.
Absolutely.
If you're going to go outside the
Absolutely.
box, Fluff has done it at times. They've gone outside the box and they've done really well. Some
Yeah.
shows have done it, but it's very hard to go outside the
Chris.
box and do well. Like Bus is going to run into some problems like that. What did they do? They did the Wonder Woman thing yesterday. I didn't get to see today's, but it's like it's kind of hard. I mean, eventually this show will be in a circuit, and I'll be like, I don't really know what to do with it. You know what I mean? I'll do
Yeah.
these interviews for now, but like I say, eventually it comes down to the monetization. So it's the big struggle around here. That's why I said, damn, they got on Cafe, because at least I'm up there doing a show that I know that I could secure my spot to do.
It an interesting idea that's come up this week with Jaffe and Josh is making Crypt into like a game show
Yeah,
show
I like the
where
idea of that.
hosts can come on, audience members. I think that's really cool because I bet there would be people who watch it who aren't in the Discord and see other people in the Discord jumping on the show, having fun with other hosts. I bet that would make them want to be part of the Discord and
Wait, someone
also
said
jump
Wonder
on a
Woman
show.
really messed up today. I wonder what happened there. Tell me if you guys could hear this. I want to make sure, because I got a earpiece in, because I actually used to always have it blaring through the speaker, but I was having echo issues. So tell me if you guys hear this out there. You won't hear it, Kylie.
Okay.
Or Kilala? Is it Kilala? Why do I say
Kalila.
Kylie?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry
Because
when
it's
I
a
do
weird
that.
name. No, don't.
It's a
It's not your
marijuana
fault at
thing.
all.
Ho, ho, ho.
Green Giant,
Could you hear that, BC? Let me do it again.
Ho, ho, ho.
Green Giant,
Let me know if you guys can hear that.
bruh.
I want to know how Wonder Woman messed up.
So do I. I wonder if it's going to be something that we cover on Cafe. I was
Yeah.
going to go to 2 hours, so you could go 13 more minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, that's just fine. I wanted to look to see at the chat because someone said that you saved a kid from a cheetah tank once.
So the guy that's saying that, I don't know why he's saying that. The problem is, if I tell that story, I had to dox my real name.
Oh, let's not do that. But cool story. Just that one little
And I didn't
sentence
save, we'll just say I didn't say, he's saying it a little funny, but I didn't save
there.
a kid
Okay.
from a cheetah tank, but
Okay.
it had to do with a cheetah.
Okay.
I'll tell you the
Wow.
story off air.
I was gonna say you have a lot of good stories.
I
That
trust you that I'll actually tell you. I've never told
definitely.
anybody. What's weird is
Really?
I've never told anybody here. I don't feel uncomfortable telling you. I don't know why, but I've
Probably because
never.
I have no friends or connections, so there's no one for me to tell.
Yeah, that's the problem. Was I would have to dox. I'll show you
Understood.
it, but you'll get a kick out of it. You'll be like, wow, you're actually a fucking. You're a hero, and I'm
I
not a hero. It's a sign. I was a
it's
hero.
meant to be. I keep looking to see if Chuck is in because I do want to see his magic trick. I keep checking to see if he's in waiting, but I haven't seen him yet. Maybe it's too late for
Thank
him.
you
I
for
don't know.
keeping your eye on the waiting.
Yeah, I wanted to peek in because I like magic trick, and also I think he's really into Star Trek, and I
See,
really
if
like
they
Star
wouldn't have
Trek
put you
too.
guys on Chubby, I would have let you and Tater do that skit on my show.
Yeah, I think hopefully Tater and I, while we're getting people excited about Chubby, maybe we can jump on Hero and a
No,
couple other
it's all right,
shows. And
BC. It was Servap that was originally putting that. A couple of these people out here, I've known for like years. Like the Cosby's Quaalude Connect. I've known him for years, talked to him in person, close friend. The Servap guy, friend. BC, I've known. Gonzo. These are people that have been, PWO, Pesci World Order for a long time. What's funny is I think eventually a lot of the people that were gone will be back here soon. And it'll be interesting. You know what I mean? That's why I said I don't think it's cool to be on Hero, but if it's gonna be like a pressure, if it gets put in a circuit and I don't got a bunch of ideas, like maybe I'll stay for like a month, but I don't want it to be where it's like you get watered down. You're just showing up because you got to perform. It's not about just having a good show. Like if me and you did this show, it was a good show. People were here. They talked. Me and you talked for 2 hours. It was watchable. But if we were monetized and it didn't make anything, Keem would tell you it's a bad show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I get it. He don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? He wouldn't give a fuck if there was, if there was a shitload of people, he'd maybe be like, damn, there's a shitload of people. But then that might even make him even more mad.
That's what's hard too, is some shows get a lot of views, but then financially you have to find that balance between like how do you monetize the content, which is a fun challenge too, but definitely a challenge. So
Yeah. And I
it's
don't do a
always
good
fun.
job telling people I'm going live because it's just at any time. And it's like,
Yeah.
when do you go?
C
It's like
circuit,
in the
yeah.
daytime I work at times, and it's like you don't want to go live during live. I watch it anyway. I watch
Yeah.
live. And now Pitt's been going at all these weird times. Like they were
Yeah,
like going
yeah.
during live. I didn't understand what Yo Mama was doing. I don't know. Maybe he's just busy as a motherfucker.
Could be, because I know he has a real life serious job too, and he's getting ready for his party for his kids, and he's got a lot going on. I'm still looking to see. I want to know what happened with Wonder Woman, but I don't think they ever wrote something else.
No.
So we'll have
Does
to check
anybody
that
know what
out.
happened to Wonder Woman? Someone said Wonder Woman fucked up bad today. It might be nothing serious. Let me actually top this drink off one more time.
Oh wait, they did. They were during live because live extended. Okay, so live extended. That's why it was overlapping. Pesci is over big time in Auckland, New Zealand, and in Perth, Australia.
I'm gonna say hi to my friend.
Hi, he walked away for a second, but he'll be back.
Okay.
Hey, Tina.
Pesci!
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
Tina's here
brother.
for ya.
Shit,
Yeah,
just
Pesci,
chilling.
That's what I'm doing too. Look at here. How's the dog doing?
Laying down sleeping.
Turn on your goddamn camera. Let me talk to Pesh.
Oh shit.
Are you live right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the scam of the day is I'm gonna start coming up here every day when my mom pops up. The scam of the day is Pesci needs 10,000 dogs right now for $1.
This is a monetized channel, Albert.
Yeah,
is called-
unfortunately.
This
That's
is
why I'm doing it on purpose. I'm doing it
This
on
is
purpose. I'm bored.
the ghetto.
Oh, okay.
Are you drinking a beer or apple juice?
That's gotta be apple juice. Oh, Canadian dry.
Oh. That's a best ginger ale.
Look at
How
here.
you doing, Tina?
I'm going to get impregnated by a gorilla.
I don't know what they call it, but I know today's the day that your dad passed. So,
Yeah,
my
it's okay.
condolences there.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
I appreciate
my
it.
condolences to you, Pesci.
Oh,
wanna
good
come
to
up- I
see
wanna-
you, Albert.
I'm coming to Ohio. Stop trying to act. Look at here. You realize that me and Christina came up here. She put in that big stink. And then yesterday she's telling me she wants to talk to me private. I said, absolutely not. No, ma'am.
Right.
She
No,
acts like
she's-
she hates you, but then wants to be friends with you.
She
Privately.
wants to be
Yeah.
friends. If Tina walked up to her right now and said, "I forgive you" or whatever, she would follow her around.
I don't. But I don't.
No, I know.
I
So
won't.
she acted one way to you behind the scenes in
Uh-huh.
the VC, and then when she flipped and went to Hero, she just started talking shit and acting completely different and switched up.
Well,
Is
she
that
was
what
a
happened?
follower. She was a follower of ours from the Angry Grandpa show.
Yeah,
was a hell
that's how she
Yeah.
came over,
A hell of
right?
a fan. Yup. And then me and ALR were fighting, and she's calling ALR, fat fuck, and she's going after ALR. And then I went to PAC camp and came back, and they were best friends spewing shit about me. She just wants to fit in where she gets in, I guess. I don't fucking know, but I don't got time for this shit. I'm too old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm too
A
old.
week changed someone's whole personality and everything they were a fan of.
It was just weird how she said, I need to talk to you privately. I said, no, ma'am, I'm not talking to nobody privately.
Yeah, I need to learn that. That's a important lesson,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
What were you talking about? Somebody's going to get fired on Queens. What was going on there?
I want Foxy fired. You know I don't like her.
Yeah.
She's not my cup of tea.
Tina's
Who
over.
would you want?
That's funny.
Who would you want to replace Foxy? Because I heard Murph say that she didn't want Queens.
No,
And I
just me
wanted
and
Murph for
Batgirl.
Queens. Just you
Yeah,
and
me and
Batgirl?
Yeah, that's all we need, really.
I think Murph's a terrible trick.
Why would Murph say she doesn't want Queens? Because she's already on
Because she
live?
don't want to do. She want to do the gross stuff. She said. I don't know if she was joking last night when she said that or not, but she said that on Cash. That she didn't want to do the gross stuff.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me not beat down someone personally, okay? But
Yeah.
let me just say this, okay? Listen,
She got a big coochie.
I missed it.
I did too.
If Albert Dam was still in this universe, I'd tell Murph.
Big Muff?
You know what I would tell him, Pesci? I'd tell him,
What?
pack that shit up and throw it in the fucking trash can.
I'm thinking about what Albert said once upon a time to Albert will make you laugh, I'll tell you that. I can't really say half the shit he says, but he says some funny ass shit.
Yeah, he learned from me. Listen to this one. This guy comes riding up to my car.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
And I said, what the fuck you want?
Tell Pesci he acted like he was buying. Like
He acts like he was getting, like he was doing a crack deal. I pulled in the neighborhood and he was coming down the side,
I thought it was
coming
Rick.
down the side. So I
Yeah.
stopped and he pulls up like, I was like, who the hell are you? I don't sell crack. Mm-mm. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's time for me to take a vacation.
Slytherin says, Kilala, you are my subconscious. And Cosby's
Oh, wow.
Quaalude says, Tina, blessings to you and yours today. Yeah, that's a friend
Thank
of
you.
mine. You know, he's a
I
good
want to
guy.
see the magic trick, though. I really want to see the
Yeah,
magic
'cause
trick.
I'm gonna go disappear. That's about the best magic I can get. But Pesci, it's gonna
Yeah.
be crump in the next few days, and the best thing you can do is stay out of it. It's gonna get bad.
Is your slate
Is
back?
it?
Okay. I'll
Okay.
watch. I was
give us
gonna
a call on the phone,
can I interview the vegan girl?
Oh my God, why would you want to, bro?
You know me, I'm just trying to cause a little bit of trouble or whatever. I go, I won't then. I mean, maybe I was gonna reach out and see what she said.
Everybody. She tries to sue every fucking body, bro.
Well, you heard what I said at Cafe? I called her a lick. This is like a lick. In the hustler world, you would call her a lick. It's somebody you sell dope to or you just flat out rob. You know what I mean? That's how I
That's a
view
lick
her.
Well, like a target almost.
That's a lick
Yeah.
I could do without, bro. I think I can move on to the next lick. Because let me tell you something. I went up there and started telling her about herself, and she was like, I'll tell you when she leaves. She's just here to steal my clout. I said,
Yeah, she
"Excuse me?"
disappeared fast.
That
She
was crazy when
out
she
of
said
there.
that. I was dying. I was
I'm
laughing.
here to steal what?
Mhm.
The fuck are you talking about, bro?
That was wild.
Well, it's like when Stefan said you should be on Queens.
Yeah.
What? What are you talking
Listen.
about?
Fucking wild.
Final
Look at here,
J.
Pesci.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
Oh, I will.
Stay out of it.
I will.
I love you, brother. I love you, brother.
Love you too. I'll see you soon.
Stay safe.
Yeah, when you
Later,
stay
Albert.
safe, y'all.
All right,
You
Pat.
call me and I'll give you the DL, brother.
All right. Oh, basically,
Okay.
Tina's about to go ham on somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Final J. Get your final questions in. So I should do a segment called the Final J. It's when I smoke my final joint and I just talk to everybody. But what up, Gonzo? Someone says we need the Albert
A-Styles.
interview. Yeah, he's always allowed on.
A-Styles. Well, he's the one that said it. A-Styles, get Albert on.
Yeah, but you know how Keem is. Keem, he has the one rule. You got to be a part of the Discord. You would have to do it from Tina's phone.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
And
And
he,
I don't
he
know
has
if
to get, he would have to get
would
on
want to.
Voldemort.
I thought he wasn't. Maybe I heard it
Probably
wrong. I
not in
thought that
Keem's heart. He's not
yeah,
Voldemort. I mean, they did just reach out to him and tried to tell him to do nuts. This isn't me
yeah,
spilling the beans. This was made public.
yeah.
Albert,
I
no,
know it
they were
was
going to bring
public.
Albert and Scooter back. Scooter
Scooter went
started
crazy.
demanding a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And I got along with Scooter.
Do you,
Scooter was there the day I got made intern.
do you think Gidgey will come back?
In my heart, I don't believe she wants to.
Okay. That's not what I thought you were going to say, but that's probably more
To
realistic.
get Gidgey back here, you would have to give her something that you wouldn't want to give her. You would have to give her some money. You know, you'd have to.
Yeah.
She isn't just going to come back from zero and work and no.
So
You know
she
what I
wouldn't come
mean?
back for Queens, you don't think?
I don't. Tina just left, but I don't think Tina would want Gidgey back. I think Gidgey's probably said a couple things about Tina to where I don't know though.
That's burning bridges.
You
Seems
know,
like a lot of people do that. Yeah. It happens, unfortunately. Yeah, he
I
never
can't believe you
came
thought I
into
was drinking a
waiting.
beer.
I know. I was like, oh,
I'm
I
just
thought
gonna
he
go
just said he
10 more
doesn't drink
minutes.
beer.
What up, Felonious Bass Salt? Yeah, the Gonzo said Sup Future. You know that's my real nickname on the streets.
Sub Future?
So let me tell you that.
Why?
No, not Sub Future, just Future. So look,
Oh, Future.
and they know this
You're
because
the
they know me in
Oracle.
real life. If my whole life people told me I sound like Joe Pesci, I never, ever, until I came online, go by Joe Pesci. So as long as I've been online, Joe Pesci. On the streets, one of my slogans you probably heard me say is I'm the five-time felon, the nickname stealing. When I say I'm the nickname stealing, I stole a nickname in prison and it was the name Future. And what happened was when you're locked up with people, you get separated from them because they'll go to another prison or whatever. And one of the barracks I was in, it's a temporary holding until you go to your prison that you're going to spend all your time at. There was a guy that played chess in there, and he was kind of like my mentor on the chessboard. His nickname was Future, and this was even before the rapper was out or whatever. But everyone called him Future, and I remember I liked that name, and I knew how nicknames worked in prison. Usually, people called you by the name they gave you. Yeah, do some people call people by their real names? Yes, but a majority of the people will gravitate calling you by what you give them first. So if I say, "What up, man? I'm Future." Eventually that name stuck because I got separated from that guy. And I remember I asked him, I said, "Hey, man," I'm going to steal your nickname when I go to the other prison. And he liked me enough to where he goes, "That's crazy as fuck, but yeah, it'll work." And then, so after that day, when I got sent to my new prison, when people would introduce themselves to me, I'd always say, "What up, man? I'm Future." And that's what people called me. And then when I got out of prison, it was the same thing. I wasn't on Facebook for a while. Like this is like when I didn't do Facebook and all that. And when I would meet people brand new, I never gave them my real name anymore because I felt like that was what was sending me to prison was people knowing my real name. So there was
Yeah.
people in my circle that never knew my name for a while. Eventually, it slipped out, or I would tell them, or I was on Facebook, and you would just happen to find me, and that's kind of usually how people find my real name is they'll come search for me on Facebook or whatever. But I don't give a shit. Like I said, I'm a car dealer. I'm very public. You know what I mean?
So is that this is going like all the way back to the beginning, but is that why you feel so strongly about like snitching? Because you said it was two
Yes.
different women that kind of put you in that
Two
situation.
different women. So when people were like, "Yeah, when I was giving AMAC all that shit for when she told on me or whatever, all I said was, my rule is this: if you tell on somebody, I will clown on you for it. That's all.
Yeah.
Don't take it
Yeah.
personal, but you will get clowned on. I have been to jail a couple times because of tattletales. So tattletaling for me sparks up something to where I'm like, all right, you want to be a little tattletale, huh? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not. That's just how I am. Now, I know it was for something very minor, and she doesn't understand like where I've been because of being told on. And
Yeah. Yeah.
not saying her telling on me led to anything or nothing close to that, but I'm always gonna point out a snitch. I'm always gonna fuck with him. But I made
What
up
did
with her.
what? Yeah, I saw that. No, I know you guys are good. Did you ever have like any kind of relationship or contact with those women after you found out they snitched, or was it just like done, cut off?
They ran for the look. The one bitch was lying. What was crazy was the one bitch that set me up. I didn't even know she set me up, and I was reaching out to her to get my money. This was a girl that no kind of relationship like sexual or anything.
Game.
Hey, what's going on? What show we on?
This is
Hero.
Locale Gangbang. You in?
No, I'll pass. I'm a married man. Maybe
You know
next
what
time.
show this?
Next
You know what
life.
show this is, Keem? If I'm on it,
I don't know what it is. This.
Hero.
Oh, okay.
Hero.
I got dementia. You didn't know about that?
Yeah, good to see you though.
What are you
Ladies
guys
and
up
gentlemen, Keemstar and Kid behind the camera on Hero. What a night!
to? Oh, I can't wait for fucking cafe, bro. With all the shit that just happened. Dude,
I
fuck.
Nice.
yeah, it's been crazy. I couldn't look away.
Feast or famine.
What'd you think about that pit stream?
Yeah. I just, you know, when you guys start arguing, it's something to watch. I kind of liked how Hatred actually was going against him, and I think Yo Mama
Yeah.
liked that as well. I didn't look at it like he was dick riding. I kind of looked at it like, you know, that's Hatred. He'll say the last thing he's supposed to do, or I kind of liked it.
That was like the most entertaining and
There was a lot of
engaging
looping,
Hatred has
though.
been.
It's
Yeah.
kind of a dragged out, like that subject you guys are arguing about, Keem. It's like so yesterday, and you know that. That shit's so old at this point.
Yeah, but the new
Well,
stuff of
it's-
putting a bounty on
Exactly.
Xylee's
Okay,
box,
that's fucked. I got
that's,
no
like,
comment
so
there.
crazy. Like, and you know,
That's Mike's girl.
Yo Mama was swearing that he wasn't justifying it. It's like, yes, you were. Do you know what justification means? You were saying, I'm wrong and I'm against doxing. But I could understand if, you know, you get between a marriage, you know, like what kind of fucking sweep is this shit?
I didn't
Yeah,
understand that he was
I was
referring.
kind of lost, dude. I
He was
really was
referring
lost.
He
during
was
that.
saying that Tina is like a snitch for saying this, but like when Tech was like talking about like doxing him, he was like in his feelings about it. So like I don't get it.
Dude, I'll tell you this, Joe Pesci. If someone came to me and they were like, "Yo, I'll give you $500 for Joe Pesci's personal information," I would tell them to go fuck themselves. And the
Right.
first person I'm calling is Joe Pesci to let him know. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, this is crazy, dude. What? First of all, Tina and Xylee are friends. Savage knew that. So
Yeah.
she's literally trying to get like docs from, and she wants Tina to betray Xylee and give her personal information, which could cause her to get killed if it got leaked. Like, you know, we do know what swatting is, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
like, are we fucking stupid? Like, bro, the fact that got defended on one of my shows today, or, you know, justified, I should say, not defended. But the fact that was, you know, the sweeping was happening, like I was seeing fucking red, dude. I'm still angry about it. I can't believe he did it.
I would be upset if I was Savage in that situation because it felt like he was almost insinuating that she did cheat. Like the way that he was saying, if I cheated with someone and was kissing on a girl and Hatred said something, then Hatred is a snitch. Felt like he was insinuating that that's what
No,
Savage did.
what it did was it made everything that Keem was saying that they were saying he shouldn't have been saying. He's right.
Yeah. It just didn't. It did the opposite of what
I've
he
never
thought it
seen
did.
no bounty. I saw that. I got to be honest, Keem. I was kind of shocked. I'm not usually speechless about shit, but I saw that and I'm like, damn, I don't even know how to.
Well, I said
know,
it on this. I didn't know that it was going to come out, right? Because I said it I think last night on a stream, I said I don't fuck
Yeah.
with Savage because she put a bounty on for Xylie's information, and the whole chat is like, "Where's the proof? Where's the proof?" I'm like, "I'm not going to show you any proof, and I don't need proof because I talked directly to Savage." Which a couple nights ago, I got drunk and I talked directly to Savage with Yo Mama and Mike on the phone. And I was like, why the fuck you do that? You know? And she goes, oh, Tina ratted me out. Like, so Savage confirmed it to me. And so everyone was asking for receipts. And I'm like, I'm not trying to prove it to y'all. It's been proven to me. I know it. Like, I'm not trying to, I could care less what the fucking audience thinks. I'm trying to tell you that I know that this is the truth. Right? Every other motherfucker that has needs, I need receipts and I need to do this and that. They're trying to get you on your side. I don't care if you're on my side or not. You're still going to fucking watch me. I'm still a millionaire. I'm still Keemstar. I don't give a fuck, right? I don't need you following me around, but you will, right? So they were trying to do that with me. Like, where's the receipts? It's like, no, I'm telling you, I know. That's the only thing that's important.
Maybe that's why when Mike tried to bring her back, she didn't want to come back because that was out there.
Well, I don't know if Mike tried to bring her back. I'm so confused.
No,
Yeah,
when did I try? When did I try to bring her back?
I think you guys at one time were trying to bring her back a long time ago. Remember when you jumped on her panel that one time?
Okay,
or was
wait
that just a bit?
Well, do I admit, Team? We planned that shit, bro. It was for comedy, but we didn't do it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was wondering if it was a bit. All right, I didn't know.
Months ago, we decided not to do it.
I knew Keem knew. I knew it wasn't behind the back. But when you're like, come back,
Pesci, I seriously get lost because like Mike will be high as a kite and I'll be drunk. It will be like, let's call a Voldemort. And then we'll call a Voldemort and we'll just talk shit, bro. Like, like when we get on the phone with Scooter, I'm like, oh, I can't wait until you die. You know,
but long story short, she was like, Mike, I can't come back. She said, I can't come back.
Hold on, Pesci. He literally told Scooter yesterday he hopes he dies. It was fucked up, bro.
Was that the guy you guys were talking to who said, are you broke?
I'm sure I called him broke at one point. And then in the middle of that conversation, I got stung by a wasp. It was like fucking stupid, dude.
Drunk on the phone.
Christina's out there.
And also, Pesci, no, that was not that conversation. That was a different one.
You know how like when some people will be like, oh, you're afraid to talk to this person. Bro, I'm not afraid to talk to anyone, but sometimes you just don't want to give someone attention. You know what I mean? It's not about being afraid. It's like, nah, dude, I jump on your panel, you're going to have like 10 times the views, and I'm not trying to help you right now, you know? But I'll call you privately.
Yeah, is that girl still in the Discord, that vegan girl?
No, she filed a fucking false copyright strike.
What?
Oh my God.
She filed a false copyright strike on Glass, of all things. So I'm dealing with that right now.
Because they were covering her. They were doing like a whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it. They did a deep dive. I wanted to watch it.
Yeah. So I'm dealing with that right now. I mean, it's always some shit. But, hopefully Yo Mama corrects the record on a lot of the incorrect stuff he said today, and he doesn't double down because, God, I've seen his own audience turning on him, and they're pretty much a cult over there. Especially...
Keem goes, they're pretty much a cult over there. Huh?
Oh, on Pitt? Yeah, dude.
It's a wild crowd. It's not a cult.
Well, I mean, if you dox somebody and they're all like, yeah, you go. And then someone defends the doxer and they're like, yeah, you go. Like, I don't think they're using their own brain anymore. I think they're kind of being, they're kind of like a cult.
Privately, a lot of the stuff that Yo Mama was saying was like cleared up before his show, like in our management chat. But he's like, I'm gonna do it anyway, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's funny.
So, Kilala, how are you enjoying you being a host? How's it going?
It's good. I think it's going really good. Tater and I have like dockets built for different shows. We have a lot of ideas. We're trying to do something different and fun, and
How are you
also
a
like
fuck? You and Pesci are like cartoons. Are you real people? Like I'm looking at the bows and the pearls around the little thing. Like you're like a
wait,
fucking
wait,
character.
look at this. I have a little dog too.
What is
I
this
used to have
fucking
a
legally
Chihuahua as
blonde?
well.
It's like legally blonde.
Pesci and I are good together. We
She's
got
as
we
Yeah, I
American
like
as
Killa.
apple pie, King.
I predicted like a weeks ago that Kilala would be somebody that would be host worthy before she was ever a host.
Oh
we
yeah,
had a
God.
Pesci and I were just talking like the first time I talked to him, it just felt like we knew each other. It was just like boom, easy.
Yeah, I never felt like we were strangers. It was weird.
Yeah.
Pesci's like that with everyone. He gets along with everyone.
Yeah.
He's a car salesman. They know how to get to you. And
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
It's okay. You can bamboozle me. I
Somebody
don't
reached
mind.
out to me. They're like, I can't believe the things you said about me on Cafe, and I'm such a nice guy. I go, I didn't mean it, but I did.
And let me get you a toy, US Master.
I was like, who? I forgot who it was. They're like, I can't believe you said all that. And I'm like, do you think I mean any of that?
A couple of months ago, Albert was talking about Pesci. He was like, "Yeah, Pesci's going to try to get me a new car. It's only got 98,000 miles on it, or like four. It was like 200,000."
How did it feel to get the blessing from Tommy?
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you this, Keem. One of the reasons why I think I came back, because I was like, I would get like, even your mama would reach out to me behind the scenes sometimes, like before I even left, and he would say encouraging things. And I'm like, why would I leave after all that? And then I remember when I messaged
that's why he didn't
you,
call it a cult, because he's in it.
well, I always, no. I've been asked that. Two things I was asked. I go, they asked me if, do you think the LCU is a cult? And I go, I never saw any cult shit. I go, and I'm not really a liar. And I go, if there was somebody that would point out some cult shit, it would be me. I never saw it. You'll see people that might want to just, you know, be more nicer to Keem because that's how people are. They like to get really close with the boss. That's normal. You see that anywhere. But the thing with Tommy was he said something to one day. He goes, I think Joe Pesci might be the only guy that won't lie to me. And that went a long way with me because I was like, I really wouldn't lie to him at that time. I was like, it was good to have somebody of that caliber say those things. And then when he got let go or whatever, and I got put up there, I go, look, man, I'll always be here. You could come have your spot back. I don't want you to look like I'm here to replace you. You're an unreplaceable guy. You know what I mean? You have your own style, your own skill. I'm going to do my thing, but you once put me over and you said I was meant to do something like this. So I'm going to prove you right by doing it. And I always said what's crazy about Cafe is when I go up there, Keem, I don't even feel like there's just no stress. It's so natural to me to do that show that I could keep going. You know, you'll do like these shows here and then you'll see me staring at the clock or whatever. But when I'm up there, it just, you know what I mean?
It kind of blew me away because it was like, oh, this is what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You crushed
You and
it on there.
Batgirl. You and Batgirl too. It's like sometimes there's pairings that happen that you don't think is going to work, and it works so well.
I make a law in the LCU that if you are a female under the age of 30, that you have to look presentable. I mean, good God. Like, what is up with Batgirl looking like she just rolled out of bed? Like, come on. Like, can I get some E for effort? God damn.
You got to wake up a little bit, like I said. And you know what's crazy? I'll tell you this, and Keem could even vouch for this. So Keem goes, when I was coming back, because remember he goes, man, you got fucking Buff Weave in your clan name. He goes, what are you doing, man? He goes, why do you want to come back? And I go, something's telling me to come back. And this is before Tommy was fired. There was nothing about Cafe at all. There was, Keem put out an announcement about Hero and Chubby. And then I was like, someone goes, Pesci, go back. And I was like, all right, I'll message Keem. And then
honestly, when you hit me up, I didn't want you back because I was like,
I know.
Oh, fuck this guy, dude. My contract is fair as shit. Like, I'm sick of being taken advantage of. I want hosts who I'm going to build up and put in front of a live audience and stuff to have respect for who put them up by having this cool down period, right? And when you didn't sign the contract, I was like actually offended because I'm like, dude, I know I'm.
Well, dude, what
helping this
happened
guy.
was it was such on the spot. I think if I would have had a day, I would have did it. But you were like 1, 2, 3, sign, and it was like, I don't know. I just
No, wait,
kind
wait,
of.
what? Didn't you
No,
sign
no.
it late? Like, wasn't it like weeks later? Wait, he hasn't
no,
signed yet.
no. It was like months. All right.
Yeah.
I sent Pesci the contract and he never signed it. And then he was bragging in cafe chat. He's like, yeah, that's why I won't sign the contract. I'm like, what? So I called Brianna from payroll. I'm like, did Joe Pesci ever sign the non-compete contract? And she's like, no. So then I got mad. I'm like, bro, dude, you didn't sign this fucking contract. Then you're bragging in the fucking YouTube chats that you're not going to sign it. I'm like, dude, you got to sign this fucking thing like today. Like, come on.
And
dude.
then when we talked to him, he was like,
That was ignorant. That was ignorant of me to brag about it. I'll give you that.
But then Pesci, we talked to him privately, and he was like, the contract says you're going to own my YouTube channel. I was like, what?
No, I never said
it.
that. I actually said the
What?
contract makes a lot of sense. And I said, if I would have had 24 hours, I think I would have signed. It was just like
It's
1,
not
2, 3,
like-
sign.
You know, people act like the contract's like, oh, Keem owns you. No, it doesn't. Like, not at all.
Keem, I play
It
a lot
just
of
says-
Rocket League. I play a lot of Rocket League
Yeah.
with like buddies, and I didn't want to give that up. It was more like a buddy thing. It wasn't a YouTube thing.
I see. Well, you could still do that as long as it
Okay.
wasn't on your channel, but whatever. Look, the
No,
point
it
is,
was on my
is right
channel. That
now-
was the problem.
yeah. Okay. Right now, Cafe's fucking cooking. You know, I think Tommy and Xylee are doing pretty good over there. You know, Pitt's.
Well, here's my
going-
thing. Can I say something about
Yeah,
the
go
whole
ahead.
rewind thing? It's like, does Billy want to talk about the LCU? And is that what Rewind's going to be? Because it almost seems like, I know Billy likes to do shows that aren't that, but if we're going to have somebody on Rewind, they got to be ready to be, right?
I think people just the thing that makes Rewind work is not that they're rewinding in this current climate. Before in the past, it was mandatory that they did that. In this current climate where everybody's talking about everything, right? And you're in the loop, it's more about what is Xylee and Billy's reaction to the main story. You know, that's really what that show's about. It's about those two and you know, how they work. And it's kind of like fucking Pesci and Batgirl right now. Like, you guys work very, very well together. Like, that
Yeah.
comes off so natural. It's insane.
Yeah, and like I said, we're just getting started up there. There's still stuff we'll implement in as we go on.
Yeah.
Like I always said, I told Batgirl the first day, I go, I'm just going to go like a level 2 to start, and then I'll slowly start to turn it up as we...
Where are you at now?
I'm like a level 3. There's a couple things I could still add in that I
Jesus,
haven't
what
done
happens
yet.
when you get to 10? What the hell's the show going to look like?
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, you know what's
Bro.
crazy is that's like the one show. Like I remember when I was getting criticized for doing solos once upon a time. If I had a format like that, oh, I could do it by myself if I had to. If you're like Pesci, you got to do it by yourself.
I think
could.
the thing that makes it really, really easy for your job on Cafe is they really do have a great, excellent docket team.
Docket.
That docket
I've
team
never
over there
had
is
that.
really, really, really fucking good. But, you know, it is what it is.
I
All
said
right,
my
well,
expertise is following someone's lead. I'm way better at that than being the guy going, all right, we're doing this.
Yeah, he was just talking up the Talkit team.
Yeah.
Nice.
I said, because of them, I'm able to do what I do really well. But if I don't have that, you know, I'm just kind of more like Keem would say, a normal guy.
All right, well, Kilala, Pesci, I'm going to head out, but if anyone gives me a bounty for your personal information, I'm going to tell them to go fuck themselves. I'm going to let you know right away because, you know, I'm not a
Thank you.
scumbag. And I will
James,
not
appreciate
sweep
it.
for them.
Let's call
Thanks.
Scooter. Let's talk shit.
Bet. Let's do it.
Do it.
Let's go do it. Let's go do it. All right, see you guys. We're going to talk shit with Scooter.
Yeah, have a good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got all the way up to about 75, 80 people. We're going to end the stream today. Kilala, you did a great job, and me and you are going to do more future things here in the future.
Thank
And believe it
you.
or not, that's my nickname is Future.
Hey,
Um,
let's do it.
Yeah, I was telling you that story. I
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
stole that nickname. Shout out to Slytherin. You got to come in and do the magic for her next time. Shout out to SS
Yeah, I would love that.
Michelangelo, who actually makes the thumbnails.
Oh, does he? I saw him I said hi to him on a show once. But
Yeah.
hi again.
Yeah, so that was a great thumbnail he made tonight. Excellent one.
Yeah, he's
And
good.
tomorrow is Angel. If you guys don't know Angel, she's going by Hood Titty right now. That's a
Yeah.
funny name. And you overall, you like when the drama gets stirring up around here?
I think it's fun. I think it's not as much. I've been
Shout out
in
to
it a
Lord
couple
Dank.
times. I've been in it a couple times. It's not as fun right now to be in it, but maybe as Tater teaches me how to like talk, more shit and be able to be stronger that way, maybe I'll enjoy it more. Who knows?
Well, try to be yourself too. Just don't try to cop. We don't need you just shit talking to shit talk. If you feel the need to shit
My
talk,
problem
but
is for everyone except for Turbo, I'm like, love and let's give other chances. And Turbo, I'm like, fuck off. But everyone else,
that was great to have
I
Keem in here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean any. Did I say gangbang when he said in here? I didn't mean anything by that. I was just being funny. Because he always comes in on Hero, and he's done it like 4 times. He goes, "What show is this?" And I say something different every time. I'm like Underground, and this time I said Logan. I said gangbang you in, and he just kind of laughed.
I know. Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Thank you, Mama de Mom. Thank you, SS. Thank you, Lord Daggy. We're gonna end right there. And we'll see you guys, or I'll see you guys tomorrow on Cafe, and I'll be here probably 9:30, 10 o'clock, same time with Angel. It'll be the same Rick and Monroe.